Welcome to the party, pal. Your neighborhood masterclass. Back with you once again. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm so happy to have my guests with me today. I'm very honored to have the one and only Nathan Jones. Nathan, welcome.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, man. Good. I know we've been working on this for a while, and I'm glad we were able to make it happen. I'm thrilled to have you here, sir.
Well, I'm very appreciative to be here, and yeah, I'm excited for this because I've never done anything like this before. So.
Oh, really? Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Okay, good. Just for the people coming in who might not know you, tell us a little bit about your channel.
The channel, same name as mine. If you look it up, you might recognize oh, that's the Australian wrestler, right? Ex-WWE star who's in Mad Max, Fury Road, and Troy and all that. But no, that's not me. Although that would be pretty cool. I'm not as buff, and I grew my hair back out. But I'm on YouTube, and I talk about film, usually a lot of boutique label related things, I suppose. So like Criterion, Arrow, Scream Factory, Indicator, those things. Starting to get a little bit more into Vinegar Syndrome and the fun more underground stuff that I'm just not super familiar with yet. But yeah, just having fun talking about films all the time on the channel and whatever avenue that is. And yeah, I've been having a blast doing it for the last few years.
That's awesome. Cobwebs is here.
Hey, that's my buddy. That's my buddy.
Hey, welcome. Well, yeah. I want to have you on the show, man, and make sure you reach out. If you Daniel, send me an email, my email's in the description, or it will be. But yeah, I would love to have you on the show, man. Real quick, Fett. Hey, duders, what's up? Welcome, Fett. Welcome. Just what's Davis up? Here. Welcome. Corey is here. He's family. He's actually family, not blood family, but YouTube family, Master Chaos Army family. Corey is one of my patrons, and as a patron, he is at the level that he is invited onto HOLLYWEIRD. Welcome, Corey. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here, and I appreciate the offer for sure. Looking forward to having some fun.
Oh, man. Well, fun we shall have. And again, thank you so much for your support. It really means the world to me. Real quick off the top, I know you asked the question off air about Patreon. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, YouTube does not allow me to monetize. I ran into an issue with AdSense where they have the, I guess, the belief that I have some kind of secret email address that is already connected to AdSense, and I don't. I've never had that email address ever, and I cannot get into it because I don't know it, and there's no one to talk to. AdSense, there's nobody to reach out to. There's no chat help. There's no phone number to call. There's no email support. So I'm sort of up shit's creek when it comes to making content, and the decision was to switch to Patreon, either Patreon or give up. I mean, doing daily content is a lot of work. And I've got a family. I've got 2 kids, and it's one of those things where do I give it up with something I really love and find something else, or see if anybody's willing to help the old master out? And luckily, a few people are, and I'm very, very honored and thrilled. And Corey, again, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
So let's get into it. We've got 5 stories. We've got a trailer to talk about. A sale just popped up on my radar. I was desperately typing it in right now. I'm like, oh, I got to talk about that too. So we've got 2 sales to talk about, and we're going to be talking Criterion Collection as well down the road. Let's get to our first story, because this one, well, they're all interesting, but this one I feel you both might have a lot to say, because it involves a potential family member.
Yeah, a family. Yep, there he is.
Yeah.
Okay, so this just dropped yesterday. Mads Mikkelsen joins Harrison Ford and Phoebe Waller-Bridge in the sequel. So following the news that Phoebe Waller-Bridge had landed the female lead, which I have issues with, not that, I mean, at that point, he's not really going to have a sexy, Kate Capshaw type character, but who knows? I don't want it to be a thing where she's constantly talking him down. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Lucasfilm has found Harrison Ford's next co-star and Mads Mikkelsen, directed by James Mangold, after, for some reason, Steven Spielberg dropped out. We still don't know why. Rumor, well, there was no script at the time, really, so I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want to do it, which is a shame. But Mangold is a great director, and Mikkelsen is an amazing actor. I'm excited. I'm excited, but let me hear from my guest, Nathan. Nathan, Dr. Jones.
That's actually my nickname in high school. So that's
was
actually,
it really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which,
Okay, what do you think?
Obviously, this is good because we're talking about the Doctor here, Indiana Jones. Clearly, Mads Mikkelsen's going to be a good guy in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Just based on his name and all his past roles. I'm excited. Now I will say, the fourth movie. I will say it's been a while since I've seen that one.
It's the best one. Best one. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the best one.
I
for
agree
sure.
with you.
Shia LaBeouf's in it before he kind of went off the deep end. Maybe he was always off the deep end, but anyway, I'll watch it for sure. I mean, I like James Mangold's work. It is a little interesting that Spielberg's gone. I'm assuming Lucas is involved as well, right? In some regard.
No, because it's Lucasfilm, so it's Kathleen Kennedy. So I'm guessing they're both out. Yeah.
Huh. So is it even it's purest form anymore? We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, the fourth one, like I said, greatest movie ever. So we'll see if the fifth one can match it or make it a little bit better. I like Mads Mikkelsen, so I've enjoyed everything. The first thing I ever watched him in, I probably was a Bond movie, and then I watched The Hunt, which is a great film, and I've seen him in various other things, and I've always enjoyed him. So,
I think this is perfect casting. Honestly, I'm more excited for the movie now that he's in it. Corey, what do you think?
Well, I'll probably get some pushback for this, but I actually really did thoroughly enjoy Indy 4.
Okay.
But
the fridge scene.
The first scene is excellent. The monkey, the flying monkeys.
Oh yeah, the ants and all that. Oh boy.
It's fun. For me, Indy has like a pretty low bar because it's like fueled mostly by my nostalgia. Like this is like my childhood, so it's really hard for this franchise to do wrong. It's similar with the Star Wars. I forced myself to like the first 3 episodes of Star Wars as well. I acknowledge they're garbage, but anything to add to, that canon, I guess, is just, I'll take it, even if it's smut and garbage. I am a bit more hopeful for Indy 5. I think maybe Spielberg is, maybe he acknowledges that it needs, a fresh set of eyes, and maybe that's why he kind of stepped away. Although everything I've read, he's still going to have, some pretty strong, and how could he not have some strong creative influence? Him working behind the scenes, I think, is very much still a reality. I think it's going to very much feel like a Spielberg film, even though he's not, directing, at least overtly. So I don't know. I'm excited. I think Mads, excellent villain, excellent choice. It could flip the script. Maybe it's Phoebe that's the villain in this one, and then Mads is like a sidekick, like a Sean Connery type. I don't know. That could be interesting. It's pretty tight-lipped about any kind of plot line or story. So who knows? Right.
I think a lot of people would be really pissed if it turns out that he's like the new Short Round.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, he actually that's his other son, Mads.
Yeah.
I would say at Indy's age, I'm not really interested in watching like a geriatric love interest like on screen. So, Phoebe, would maybe be better a villain in my opinion than a love interest.
Yeah, I hope. I don't think she's going to be a love interest. I think that'd be really weird. For me, I love him in it. I'm not as big of. I love Fleabag. I don't know if you guys have seen the show Fleabag that she wrote and starred in.
Yeah, she's excellent. Yeah, I guess that would. Now thinking about that a little more, the age difference would be super creepy if she was on this.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't work out. So I'm guessing she's either going to be some kind of like partner or something. But the question remains: is Shia coming back? Is Karen Allen coming back? I mean, as part 4 is canon, so they got married. Oh. Shia is the new Indy apparently, or that's the idea. That's what they were setting up anyway.
Yeah.
Who knows? Nathan? Do you think Shia is coming back, or do you think you're just going to forget all about that?
I'm sure he'll make an appearance if I mean they'll announce it if I would assume so. I mean obviously it's been how long since it's been since Indy 4 was like late 2000s
Yeah, it's over 10 years.
or I'd have to look it up, but it's been a while and a lot of stuff has happened since then. So I would assume that they would at least acknowledge it, obviously, or say he's off doing something like as they do in movies. But I would assume so. I mean, I feel like Shia's kind of come back a little bit more from the deep end.
Right.
So I would assume that he would probably be a part of it in some regard.
Yeah.
Well, it remains to be seen. Corey, would you like to see Mutt? What was his name? Mutt Williams, I think, was the character's name.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. Mutt Williams.
That's Shia LaBeouf's name in Indy 4.
Oh, was it? Oh, was it? I forgot. So, I mean, I think Shia is an incredible actor.
Yeah.
He's certainly a troubled young man. But I kind of separate the art from the person a little bit. I think he would have something valuable to offer the franchise. I thought there was certainly going to be an Indy 5 much sooner than this, and I thought for sure. I mean, he was going to be the next Indy. I thought that was but given the reviews and the reception of Indy 4, I see why they kind of pumped the brakes with this. Yeah. I would like to see him. I think he definitely would have something to offer.
I heard that they had they floated the idea to Harrison Ford, like, oh, what if I'm blanking on the name, Star-Lord from Guardians. What's his name?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Oh,
yeah.
Same thing.
Chris Pratt. They said, hey, Harrison, what do you think about Chris Pratt? Playing Indiana Jones, like taking over. And I'm paraphrasing, but I think he said something along the lines of, nobody else is fucking playing Indiana Jones but me. So,
that's
so part 5 is essentially going to be the final installment, for better or worse.
At least while he's alive, right?
Yeah. Let's hear from the chat here. Fett says, spoilers: Indy gets eaten by Hannibal.
Oh,
there you go. That's that could very easily happen. Jeremy, welcome. I think at this point anything is better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Hey, well, I don't know. We'll have to check back in with Corey when part 5 comes out to see which one he liked better.
Do it.
Let's see. Fett says, by the time this comes out, Indy will be so old he'll be searching for himself. I would like to see that. That would be really kind of an interesting, almost Fellini-esque Indiana Jones, where he's searching for the true meaning of his soul. Oh, man.
In the desert.
Yeah. I'd love to see that.
Around, digging and being an archaeologist.
A future Criterion release, right? I love it. Fed says, Maid, I guess he means Mads, plays such a good villain. He'll be playing all the Nazis in this one. But sure, why not? There could be a whole cloning thing after Aliens. We can have clones. Why not? I don't think it's Nazis though. I think they're going to step away.
Maybe it's zombies since they all died. They all their faces got melted off in the in the first.
Oh, so there you go.
They're all coming back. Reanimated. Yeah, might be zombies.
Let's hope. Let us hope. Jeremy says Monkey LaBeouf should never ride again. Well, it remains to be seen. For the Shia thing, I want him back canon wise, but I know he sort of badmouthed the production, and a lot of people just weren't happy with him. So I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I'm glad that Mads has joined Indy and company for what I hope is a thrilling and very unique experience.
It'll be fun, regardless of how it is. It's going to be a fun time. Yeah,
absolutely. At least it'll be fun to make fun of, if anything else.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch over. Here is our next story. Let me just cue it up here. Where did it go? There it is. All right. So this is confusing to me. I'm not sure how to process this information, but I'm going to deliver it and then we'll discuss. Blumhouse and Stephen King's new Firestarter starts filming in June. Why is Zac Efron there? Let's find out. Blumhouse and the visual director Keith Thomas's upcoming remake of Stephen King's Firestarter with Zac Efron will carry a heavier dramatic punch, and today producer Akiva Goldsman says the new film will begin shooting in June. This is what Goldsman goes on to say. Firestarter is one of the last great either unmade or unremade Stephen King novels that have become classics. There are things I will never forget from the original movie, but it diverged from the book significantly. So Scott Teems wrote this terrific script, which is much closer to the novel. Whoa, what happened there? Much closer to the novel in both incident and tone. We start shooting, I want to say, in 12 weeks. Firestarter was always some of Stephen King's most intimate and effective horror, and I think pyrokinesis is a really fascinating idea when it comes to the expression of hidden feelings. So when I first read this, I don't think it's been given away. Hold on. I don't think they've given away who replaces Drew Barrymore. Sounds good, but who's replacing young Drew Barrymore? That has not been released yet. But I see a picture of Zac Efron here, and my mind goes to this. Is this the new Firestarter? Are they going to
musical?
Are they going to give this guy the role of the Firestarter? Oh God, Corey, we'll start with you. What do you think about this? Are you worried that Zac Efron will be the new Firestarter?
Well, yes, certainly. But I'm just why? I mean, Stephen King, first of all, has such an impressive, amount of material that we could start fresh with. I don't understand why remaking Firestarter is the move. I mean, if you want to remake a similar film, his new short novel, The Institute, similar concept there, could be a really cool adaptation to film. I've heard for years and years, and I've been waiting with bated breath for The Talisman to be. I think Spielberg, actually, speaking of Spielberg, I think he was like on board for a while to adapt that to the screen. I don't know. It just seems unnecessary. I know Stephen King is kind of having this moment again, and by all means, very appropriate. But it doesn't, I think, excuse, these producers or whoever in Hollywood just be throwing whatever at the wall and seeing what sticks. There's just so much good material out there that we can use and do it right. This just seems kind of thrown together and unnecessary.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan, what are your thoughts?
So I still haven't seen the 1984 film or read the book, so I can't. I know there's a Scream Factory edition of it that I've seen multiple times. There it is.
Yeah, I got that.
I saw, actually, I think it's at Walmart, actually, of all places too.
Oh wow!
At the moment, there's some Scream Factory stuff there. But yeah, so like I've obviously only seen Zac Efron in like rom-coms and like musicals. So it's interesting. I know didn't he play a serial killer in something?
Yes.
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy?
Yeah, and he was excellent in that. That was a Netflix original, I believe, and he was phenomenal.
Maybe that was the idea of where he kind of branched out. That's what I would assume. Like the idea of getting him on board with this kind of project. I think I mean, I've enjoyed him in like Neighbors. You know what I mean? So like things like that. I've enjoyed, but yeah, I don't know. I can't really say too much about it because, like I said, I've not seen the original or anything like that. I do feel like I will say, like on Blumhouse, though, I feel like they're kind of doing like almost like a DC move where it's like they're like putting their fingers in too much stuff, right? At like all the same time, and like trying to just do all these things, and I'm like, just calm down. A few projects at a time. Put out some original content, like Corey was saying. Like you can do it. So, like don't rush things.
Yeah. It's interesting. I know the Blumhouse guys a little bit. I was in Insidious. I was a super extra. I was one of the ghosts. So I was there at the beginning. When they all got started. But they are they're very picky about the stuff they release, but then it also all has sort of the same flavor. So who knows? I mean, it could be really good. I'm a fan of the Drew Barrymore movie a lot. I really enjoyed the book. I think it's probably right up there with my top 5 Stephen King books. It's a good read. It's a very fast paced read, which is not something you can say about Stephen King sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as long winded as most of his other stuff. So I'm excited. I mean, I was kind of joking. I don't think he is going to be playing Charlie, but I maybe the dad. I don't know, but I'm excited. Tentatively excited to see what happens. But yeah, I agree. Let's have some new ideas. I know the Institute was apparently going to be a TV show, or at least they're working on a TV show.
Yeah.
And there's something else. I don't remember. I actually have a friend who wrote on the Stephen King miniseries, the new one, The Stand.
Oh, The Stand. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to have her on, though. What's that?
I still haven't seen it either.
Yeah. Well, it's on Apple or something, right? It's not like
one of the services I don't have.
I think maybe it's like maybe Discovery Plus or like ABC or no, I think NBC.
Oh, that makes
NBC's got one too? Holy crap.
Yeah. ABC or NBC. I always mix those two together. Maybe a viewer can correct me on that. But.
Gotcha. Yeah. Anybody in the chat, if you guys know where the Stand miniseries, I mean, I should know, but my friend made it, but wow, she was one of the writers. But if you guys know, let me know. I've got to catch up on it before I have her on the show. But we'll be talking update adaptations of Stephen King pretty soon.
Well, while we're still on this topic, it's not an exact adaptation, but I will say Castle Rock Season 2 was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that quite a bit, to take those elements from the Stephen King universe. That's a really fresh kind of take on Stephen King universe without being an exact adaptation. And Castle Rock 2 was just incredible.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw part of the first season. Then life got busy, but the second one was one with Annie, right? Annie Wilkes.
Yeah, and she was, yeah.
That's cool.
I've always been interested in that one, so now I definitely want to check it out. So
yeah, season 1 was meh, but season 2 it really kicked off for me.
Is it like an anthology kind of series?
Yeah, kind of. Season 1 and season 2, they're like loosely connected, but you certainly can enjoy them like as separate.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and I love that actress. Blanking out her name, but she's amazing. The girl who played Annie. Let's check in with the chat here. Fed says he's played some serious roles, though. Might not be too bad a casting idea. Well, we shall see. We shall see. Jeff H, welcome. When I saw Neighbors in the theater, it was so incredibly awful that I literally cut my head off and placed it in a popcorn bucket. I am dead now. Oh.
The movie's fine. Like, calm down. Like, the movie's just fine. Like, it's not great or good or anything like that.
Now I picture Jeff watching the show. He's holding a popcorn bucket and his head is in there, kind of reanimated typing. I love it. Let's see. Christine might be a good remake. Maybe. The Carpenter movie's so good, though. I don't know.
Carpenter movie's really good.
I don't know. I wouldn't touch it. Let's see. Just Dave agrees. No, Christine remake. Jeff continues. No, it literally killed me. R.I.P. to me.
That's Christine right there.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Is that a Steelbook?
Yeah, it's one of the few Steelbooks I have, but I like this one a lot. So
nice. Oh, that's something we're going to talk about too. We're going to talk about collecting in general and the minimizing of said collection. I know that's been a hot topic in the community, so we will definitely get into that. Let's get to our next story here. Let me bring it up on the screen. Lots of clicking is involved. Actually, let me go on my banner here. Banner. Where are you? So there you go. I don't know if you guys are video game aficionados, or at least familiar with gaming in general. You don't have to be for this story, but we're going to be discussing adaptations, and one that I'm fairly excited about. John Wick's Chad Stahelski to direct Ghost of Tsushima adaptation. This is one of the I've never played it, to be fair, but it's on my list to get for Black Friday because I'm not going to pay $70 for a game. It's ridiculously expensive.
That's fair.
You know, however, I will pay $70 for a grindhouse movie I've never heard of. You know, that is the curse of the collector.
That's the trick of us.
Yeah. Sony Pictures and PlayStation Productions are developing the film treatment of the action-adventure game set in feudal Japan. Action-adventure game Ghost of Tsushima is getting a big screen treatment. With John Wick's Chad Stahelski to direct, set in feudal Japan during the first Mongol invasion in 1274, and follows protagonist Jin Sakai, one of the last remaining samurai warriors who becomes a ghost fighter in order to ward off brutal enemies. I don't know what the hell a ghost fighter is. That sounds awesome. That sounds amazing. Stahelski, Alex Young, and Jason Spitz are producing the film adaptation through their company 8711 Entertainment. They've done not just the John Wick movies. They did recently Nobody. They did the effects, the fight choreography on that, as well as any number of action movies that are being released nowadays. Are you guys familiar with this game?
Vaguely.
Okay.
Not at all.
I know about the Kurosawa mode, so I'm assuming there's going to be a black and white version of this too as a special feature.
That'd be great.
I would assume.
Let's watch a trailer and then we'll chat with a little kind of refresher.
You are a samurai, bound to uphold the code. To live, fight, and die with honor. If you stray from this path, what will you become? A storm is coming.
Jin! Come on, Jin!
Well, that's some proper badassery. Nathan, let's hear from you. Would this be a film that you would like to see?
Oh, absolutely. I grew up watching Rurouni Kenshin on Toonami. And I've always been a huge fan of samurai films too, because I think Seven Samurai was my first Criterion ever.
Same here.
Yeah. So, and then I actually have Harakiri over there to the side. I'm rewatching that because I'm about to talk about it soon. And I've always been a huge fan of, I guess, sword and sandal type films as well, and just that culture in general. So I'm excited for it because I enjoyed Blade of the Immortal. I know that's a recent one of the millions of films that man's done. Yes. I've always I'm excited for this one, and I also like the John Wick series. So I think that's it's going to be a fun one, and I think it's going to be just it's good. It's going to be a good time. So I'm excited for it, and I'm definitely going to chop my own head off and put it in a popcorn bowl and watch it. But I'm going to enjoy that too. So,
Corey, what do you think?
Well, this certainly isn't my wheelhouse. It looks beautiful. I'm finding now more and more that games, the writing in games, they're like movies themselves anyway. So it's not too far of a stretch to adapt it to a big screen. I think this would look excellent. Just off the top of my head, thinking of games that I played recently that would make great adaptations of film. The most recent Last of Us was phenomenal. I would love to see that on a big screen and adaptation.
Well, that's a TV show. That's going to be on HBO next year.
Oh, well, perfect. Yeah. I support that fully. And I know they've talked for years about Uncharted, and maybe, was it Chris Pratt they were thinking of?
Well, that's going to be...
He's Indiana Jones now.
Yeah. Tom Holland is playing him. He's playing a young version of Nathan Drake. It's coming out next year as well. So
you're the one who did all this. Actually, you just didn't remember to sign off on it, Corey.
So you're down. You think this would make a pretty badass samurai movie?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, not my wheelhouse. Off the top of my head, I can think. I mean, obviously, Criterion, Seven Samurai, but as long as it's better than The Last Samurai, then I think we'll be okay.
There's going to be a white. John Wick's going to be in the movie.
Yeah, he makes a more convincing samurai than Tom Cruise.
That's true. Keanu Reeves. Well, I mean, he was in a samurai type film too.
Yeah.
So,
47 Ronin, which is I could argue, and I think I would win, that it's worse than Last Samurai.
it is worse than Last Samurai. I will say yes to that too.
Oh man. I'm excited, man. Yeah, I love samurai movies. Seven Samurai was my Criterion cherry popper, and like, holy shit, I want to own everything now. So that, and I have so many like obscure titles on disc of these. There's just something about that culture and the samurais in general that really spoke to me. Like, I don't know if, not to get that into a conversation about past lives, but part of me feels like I was a samurai at some point in my life, and whatever the life of my soul, if you want to put it that way. I even for a while studied the samurai sword. It's called Iaido.
Oh yeah.
It's the drawing of the sword and all that stuff, and sort of the art of the sword. Great stuff. I really enjoy it. The game looks amazing. I can't wait to play it. And the movie, I think, is going to do quite well. At least I hope it does. Great team, great directors behind it. I just hope it's not. I don't know what you get. Let's talk about John Wick real quick. I'm not a giant John Wick guy. I love action movies, but I'm not a giant John Wick guy because I don't love the fact that, first of all, the gunfire is all fake. Because obviously it's close contact, so you can't actually shoot somebody and have it go off. So I get why it's unsafe to have real fire, but even in random scenes where it could be real fire, it's not. And there's a fakeness to it that just rubs me the wrong way. Corey, are you a Wick guy?
It's really great eye candy. They're fun, but I mean, beyond that, I mean, it serves its purpose, but it's nothing deep that I'm really super invested in. I don't know. They could stop making them. I'd be okay with it. 3 is good. Yeah, I think there is a 4th one. Didn't they already announced?
There's going to be a 4th. Yeah.
They're making 4 and 5 back to back. So.
Oh my. Well, yeah. I mean, the first one's really good, and definitely was like where it kind of ended for me. I mean, for probably idea wise. But they're fun movies, just like what Corey was saying. I don't have any expectation going into them other than what I probably already gonna know what's gonna happen. So just a bunch of close combat, and there's some fakeness to it, but I don't know. It sometimes I don't really need I don't need to be in this reality sometimes, and so sometimes I guess it's fun.
Yeah, the third one is the third one for me is the best because it's got the most realistic. I mean, the fights are always good, but I feel like there's definitely a more of a focus on realism when it comes to the action. Casey, welcome, buddy. If it has a good non-CG sword fights, I'm down. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. That's what I'm saying. If it's real swords and again, a real samurai fight is over in like 1 second. If you do it right, it doesn't take. It's not a 20 minutes, kind of thing. So we'll see. Let's see. Just Dave, looks like it would be a fantastic adaptation to a movie. Well, yeah, one can hope. And the same with Uncharted. And when they cast Tom Holland, I was worried because they're going to start him off young, and then I guess he'll age into the role. But if the movie tanks, then I don't know.
Well, sorry, Corey, you got something?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know he was in The Lost City of Z. So that's probably where, I don't know if you've any of seen that movie, but I would assume that's probably where they got the idea of putting him into something like that. Gotcha.
I haven't seen that. Is that worth a watch?
I mean, it's a fun movie. Charlie Hunnam's in it, and Robert Pattinson as well. It's a little long-winded, but it's a good movie. Yeah.
Okay. Jeremy, totally agree. Games have come a long way since Pac-Man and Mario. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
No.
He also says, The Last of Us is my favorite game of all time, hands down. What an amazing story. I love that game. Jeremy and Corey, I'm guessing you're a fan as well.
Yeah.
I haven't played the second one because I'm not going to give any spoilers away here or anything, but I saw all the reviews and almost everybody said if you like the first one, don't play the second one because they ruin it. Jeremy, in chat, drop in the chat what you thought of part 2. Corey, what do you think?
I don't agree at all. I mean, I understand why it angered a lot of fans. I don't want to give spoilers away for anyone that still wants to play the game, but I think the writing was phenomenal, and and this may be blasphemy to some diehards, but in a lot of ways, I like the second one more than the original.
Wow, okay.
Very deep. It's dark story writing for sure.
Yeah,
and it's probably the first game I've ever played where I felt like emotionally drained through it. I'd have to take breaks just to like give my brain and like my emotions a rest. But yeah, it's a tragic and beautiful story, and I do understand why it's infuriated people. I mean, I think they went a little over the top. Like, I know some of the actors in that game were getting death threats, and
yeah,
me, that's come on, it's a video game. Let's chill out a little bit. But, yeah, I have no qualms at all. I thought it was very well done, and you should play it. I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay. Jeremy says I was pissed, and then I finished it, and I loved it. Okay. Well, that's 2 ringing endorsements. Nathan, have you played the games?
I haven't played a video game since 2013. I think.
Oh wow. Okay.
I know. It's been a while. It's because my priorities have just been all other places I worked.
Yeah.
I began working at a record store around that time. So like I was really heavily into music, and then I started collecting movies, and so like a lot of my focus was like on going to concerts and working and then watching movies. And so Borderlands 2 was maybe the last movie, like the last game I really played.
Gotcha.
And I still have my 64, which I love.
Nice.
And I have a PlayStation 2 and yeah, I think that's all I have right now. I haven't played in a bit. But yeah, no, I've always I have like really good friends who can champion that game a lot, and they always tell me how good it is. And they're also like, hey, Nathan Drake, so
right,
I might as well like it. So just from that name recognition alone. But
absolutely. Yeah, the Uncharted 100%. I had a blast with, and I guess I have to give Last of Us 2 a throw.
I'm thinking of Uncharted. That's why. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, same company. So I mean, you're sort of in the same. You're in the same ball field. Jeremy says there are parts in the second one I found where it was hard to move the controller because of the emotion. Wow.
It's heavy. Jerome's onto something. It's a heavy game for sure.
Wow. I won't get into spoilers, but when I found out what happens to one of the characters, I'm like, I don't think I could play past that. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's tough. Something I forgot to do that I do every episode of that. I have a new drink that I not review, but I just enjoy.
Yeah. That's from my neck of the woods.
You guys know Moxie?
Yeah,
I've seen it here too.
I'm from Maine. That drink that's a soda from Maine.
No shit. Okay. Wow.
I've seen it in Missouri, just to let you know.
I love it. It's a very it's a very acquired taste. You either love it or hate it.
Okay, let's find out here.
You've never had it? Oh, here we go.
It's like bubblegum almost.
Yeah,
that's the taste that kind of hits me. Bubblegum.
Yeah, I think it's like a sharp Dr. Pepper.
That's good shit. I like it. I'm happy. I was worried. Sometimes last time I ended up with this weird strawberry mango thing that was making me gag. So that's good. I'm happy with that.
It was a small local soda. I think Coca-Cola just bought them though, so that's probably why you're getting it out in your neck.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay. Jeff H. Last of Us 2 was so good, I glued my head back on.
Oh, nice. Jeff back to himself.
Wow. Okay, so it brought him back to life. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And Jeremy still has his NES. Look at that. That's awesome. For me, games got easier when they became 3D, when they weren't platformers, like 2D Mario type stuff. When you could move in the environment and hide behind things. Yeah. That's when I started beating games. Before that, I sucked ass. Games. All right. This is good. Maybe I'll do like a video games spin-off show here.
Well, I know Mortal Kombat came out today, so I want to see that. So
New Mortal Kombat movie coming out
Yeah.
soon. In like
that's
few
what's today.
Oh,
the new
wow.
movie. Yeah. So bringing back
That's awesome.
some memories from the 90s.
Speaking of the 90s, remember when Adam Sandler made good movies?
Mm.
Let's talk about his new film. Well, I guess it's in the works. The reason I'm bringing it up is because Carey Mulligan has been in the news recently, of course. Promising Young Woman. I haven't seen it, but I hear good things. She's I think she's nominated for an Oscar. I don't remember.
She should be.
She should be, from what I hear. And I've loved her in almost everything I've seen her in. Huge news here for Carey Mulligan as the Promising Young Woman Best Actress nominee. Okay, so that happened. Heads into the final lap of Oscar season by joining the cast of Adam Sandler's new movie, Spaceman. The project was previously known as The Spaceman of Bohemia. So what is this about? The story, based on Jaroslav Kalfar's novel, follows an astronaut sent to the edge of the galaxy to collect mysterious ancient dust. Great mission. He soon finds his earthly life falling to pieces, and he turns to the only voice who can help him try to put it back together. Just so happens to belong to a creature from the beginning of time lurking in the shadows of his ship. And it's not going to be Carey Mulligan. Mulligan will play the wife of Sandler's astronaut protagonist. And that seems kind of like a shitty job. You know, hey, I'm nominated for an Oscar. Oh, why don't you play the wife in the next Adam Sandler movie where he's an astronaut talking to aliens? Am I reading too much into this? Do you think is this a good career move? Nathan, what do you think?
I mean, this is probably already like slated, kind of like in their like things to do, and so that just happened to be how that came out. Probably. I mean, I don't know. Sandler's, with a couple years ago with Uncut Gems, I thought was something that was definitely different. Worth your time. I mean, I don't know is this supposed to be a comedy or what is it?
I mean, I'm gonna take a wild guess that it's a comedy with him talking to aliens.
I think I saw Channing Tatum's in it as well. So
here's the weird thing. Channing Tatum, where is it? Channing Tatum is producing it.
Oh, that's where I saw his name.
Yeah. Is he the voice of the alien? I don't know, but it's very odd. There's a lot of odd elements to this.
I'll leave it at I'm utterly confused, but I'll watch it maybe.
Corey, what do you think?
I like Adam Sandler just fine for what he does. I mean, I loved Punch Drunk Love, Uncut Gems. He definitely has acting chops. He's a really interesting actor because like he goes from like one extreme to the other, just like zany goofball to very serious actor. And
yeah,
I'll give him a chance just for that diversity for sure. Fun story. I was actually just recently in Salem, Massachusetts, and they are still riding the Hoobie Halloween promo. So it's just Hoobie Halloween everywhere there still. So.
Oh, that's awesome! I love Salem. I spent a weekend there with my family. We loved it. It was one of those places like I want to move here. I think I could live here.
Yeah.
That's funny. And yeah, speaking of Hubie Halloween, I really enjoyed that movie.
That was fun.
Yeah,
so much fun. Yeah,
I liked it. Yeah,
it's so weird. It's like that was the first movie my kids saw to introduce them to the world of Adam Sandler was Hubie Halloween, and it's it starts with him vomiting. he's on bicycle. He's just throwing up.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh boy! But by the end of it, it's what I like about Sandler. His movies aren't always great, but he always wears his heart on his sleeve, and you can tell he really likes hanging out with his friends and making happy stuff.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. We shouldn't be and he still make Uncut Gems, but the stuff he creates, he always wants to make happy stuff, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Happy man.
I bring a thermos with me everywhere I go now. So soup.
Yeah, but does it have grappling hooks and all that stuff, though? You got to get one of those.
I will not divulge my secrets as former Dr. Jones.
Gotcha. Understood. Aaron Pitt is in the house. What's up, my friend?
Hey, Aaron.
Uncut Gems is excellent. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually,
Anxiety attack. That movie.
Yeah, it is. And that movie is so high strung.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I finished that movie. The more I think about it.
Oh,
You need to. Yeah.
I will. You know what I'll do? We'll talk about the ABC challenge in a little bit, but if I take up the challenge, that'll be my U. That'll be the U for for the alphabet challenge.
That works.
Fed says Rob Schneider should do the voice of the alien. He probably will. He probably will. Casey, did you guys watch that Uncut Gems movie? I sure didn't, but I think people liked it. That's a funny way to put it. Well, I think both Joneses here vouch for the movie. Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
So there you go. That
Keep up with us.
What's that?
Keep up with the Joneses.
Yes. Yeah, you guys should do a spin-off podcast. Just bring on other people with the last name Jones. That'd be great. You know who doesn't like Salem? Witches. Yeah. But you know what? When I went, witch stores everywhere, right, Corey? I mean, there's everything is witch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I to this day I got a I guess you want like a varsity jacket, like a trainer jacket kind of thing. At Salem, it has like a little witch on it. I wear it to this day, and I love that town so much. I definitely want to go back.
They had there was a shirt I almost bought. They didn't have my size, and it was like a witch with a big gas cloud around her. It said, "I farted in Salem," and I was like, "God, this is perfect." But it's a high sale. They didn't have my size. I did get I got this while I was there. This cool enamel pin with this little ghosty handle. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't live very far from Salem, so I always go in October because it's that's like my Christmas, and the people watching is primo then. But it's really nice to go in the summer when the weather's nice. It's a little more tolerable to walk around, and as you know, it's a very walkable city, very historical city.
Yeah.
Be like Hocus Pocus, you can walk to all like the filming locations, and now with Hoobie Halloween, you can check out a lot of the filming locations.
That's awesome. And yeah, we went in the summer. My wife had a family reunion, and so we ended up there. And I looked up on the map. I'm like, holy shit, we're not that far from Salem. Let's go to Salem. And I was like, that was my favorite part of the trip. I didn't tell her, but I like that the best.
Well, she knows now.
Yeah, she probably does know it now, unless she's giving the kids dinner, which. It's still early, so she might be watching. I love you, babe. Okay. All right. Next story. This one brings some visuals. Let's check out a trailer that just dropped. And to me, wait, what did I do here?
I know what we're talking about.
There we go. There we go. Make it little. Well, how's that big? Well, I'm not gonna show it. It looks too big. This is the craziest trailer I've ever seen in my life. Let me prove it to you.
I used to live my life a quarter mile at a time. But things changed. I'm a father now. I will always be in your heart.
Little Brian, I have a gift for you. Your daddy gave me this. No, I'm gonna give it to you. It's very special. It's for protection from what's coming.
All right, Dom. What's next?
No matter how fast you are,
I am not to be compared to you.
no one outruns their past.
I am more easy, you trying your best to become me.
And mine just caught up to me.
Been a long time, Dom.
So we're up against a master thief, assassin, high-performance driver. Who is he?
Jacob is Dom's brother.
Your whole life, you pushed yourself to be faster than Dom, smarter than Dom, stronger than Dom. But could you kill him? Because I'm ready if you are.
There's nothing more powerful than the love of family. But you turn that into anger. There's nothing more dangerous.
Maybe this is the end, but we're gonna go out together.
You know I'd ride to the death with you.
Let's get to work.
Please tell me that's not a Pontiac Fiero strapped to a rocket engine?
Impressive. I know.
No. No, that's not impressive.
My ass is in fuego!
I came here to take you down, little brother. That's your mistake. This is my world.
They got a magnet plane?
Hold on.
Tell me you're not thinking what I think you're thinking. There's no bridge!
Oh, hell no.
Hey guys. Surprise.
Nice clubhouse.
Wow, that is a lot. That is a lot. That's the craziest action trailer I've ever seen in my life. Before I give you my thoughts, Corey, are you a fan of the Fast family?
You know, I've never seen one Fast and the Furious film. I really don't have a lot to add. The trailer looked exciting. I mean, it's not because I'm like actively opposed to the films. It's just something I've never really gravitated towards.
Gotcha.
It looks like I mean, kind of like John Wick. It looks like it'd be a lot of fun, a lot of cool eye candy.
When somebody asks me, should I watch the Fast and the Furious movies? I say just watch Fast 5. That's the best one, in my opinion. I think that one really nails all the ingredients. Nathan, what do you think about this?
So I was on the same, I guess, boat that Corey was for pretty much the whole time. I mean, I remember watching the first one. I think it was 2001 or something.
Yeah.
When that one came out, I did watch that. I remember watching that in theaters. And then since then, I was like, I've never really been that interested, nor do I really care terribly too much about cars in general. But last year when the quarantine started, I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's do it. So I got the 8 movie collection, and and then I got some Corona, and I also got some NOS energy drink. I mixed the two together. It actually tastes pretty good, surprisingly. And ever since then, I've had a blast with them. I literally go into them without really thinking, and I'm like, it just keeps getting more and more insane. There's some I think the second and third movie are a little the second one I think is the one or maybe, but yeah, I would say 4 and 5 are some of my favorite ones, I guess. But yeah, I've embraced the lunacy of the franchise, and even though it's definitely insane. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
It's an insane franchise.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I saw the first one in theaters. I'm like, I don't get it. This stuff sounds kind of stupid. Like it was like a bro movie. So I completely wrote it off. Then I heard part 2 was coming out. Like they made a part 2. I'm not gonna watch that. Then part 3 came out and completely different. I said, well, let me watch part 3 because it's set in Tokyo and I like Japan, so let me watch that. I liked part 3. It was very different. But then there's a tease at the end that Vin Diesel's character is alive and whatever, it continues. And then I was like, okay, well, this might be interesting. Part 4 came out. I wasn't a big fan of part 4 because it uses too much CG when it comes to the car stuff, and that really turned me off. But then part 5 came out, and I was blown away. To me, that's one of the best action movies ever made because everything was practical. There's a scene where like they're stealing a giant vault from a bank, and they drag it through the city. Oh my God, it's awesome. I mean, as you know, I'm a filmmaker, and I know it's hard to do shit practically. The fact that they were able to pull that off and make it look as amazing, it's so great. Part 5 to me really was like the top of the franchise. And then 6, 7, and 8 are good. I don't hate them. 8, I mean, they fight a fucking submarine in Antarctica. I mean, and this one apparently the rumor is they go to space. So. Well,
what's next? I mean, that's where Adam Sandler's at. So I mean, might as well move up there.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what the chat thinks about this one. Casey says, "Surprised it took this long for them to pull out the family member no one's talked about before card."
I didn't see anyone in the movie. I don't know what they're talking about.
Casey, are you talking about Han? That he's alive again?
No, he's talking about.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cena. How could I forget? Yeah, that was very strange.
It's easy to forget when you can't see, you know.
Yes. Let's see. My Dodge doesn't drive that well on dirt roads. You gotta get it souped up. Man. You have the wrong kind of car. Aaron says, if you can't enjoy this movie, your soul may already be gone. See, Corey, you just gotta enjoy these movies, man. Unless.
Yeah, I'm on board. Okay. Nathan, can I borrow your set?
Yeah, here you go. Well, actually, I'll just see you at the next family reunion, and I'll
Perfect.
Oh, perfect. See, Jeff H says, "Jesus Christ, off with ye old head again."
Yeah.
That's how amazing it is. And Casey was right on top of that. This movie's gonna make Jeff H rip off his head again. Let's bring him back in the next one. It's gonna happen. Dave, you've only seen where'd you go? So I'm sorry. Casey says he liked 1. You liked 1 and 4. We can no longer be friends. Go
I guess they're the most similar because they try to revamp 4. Yeah.
They are. They're right. They're almost exactly the same movie. Dave, he's only seen the first one. Yeah, you're missing out, man. You gotta join the family.
Once you get past 3, then you embrace the craziness of it all.
Yeah, but definitely part 4 is when I started getting like, wait, what the hell's happening now? Do these cars have superpowers?
Yeah.
Aaron, sometimes movies should just be fun. These movies are just pure cheesy fun. Absolutely.
Yes, they
are. Casey, the behind the scenes for the later ones where they just destroy so many cars is pretty cool to see. Yeah, I mean, the budget for cars alone is insane. I actually I'm acquaintances with James Wan, who directed Part 7, and everybody knows Part 7 is sort of like the depressing one because that's the one that we lost Paul Walker on, and so yeah, he was saying it was really difficult that they didn't even think they were going to make it happen, and trying to find a way to piece it together without him. That's pretty difficult on top of everything that goes into it. Fred says eventually every movie goes to space. Well, we'll see. Scream 6 might be in space. We shall see. Aaron, Han is back alive. Yeah, I'm curious how they're going to pull that shit off. I didn't really die.
Yeah. I mean, that explosion never happened. That car accident never happened. So.
Right. And then I just, as another news article I was going to tag on, but I said, we have too much. Gal Gadot is in talks to come back, but she can't. Well, I guess if Han can come back, she can come back too.
It's funny with her. I never because obviously I watched these movies last year, and so I literally knew nothing about it. And then when I saw her, I was like, "Wait, is that Gal Gadot?" Because I had no idea, and I was like, "This is before like Wonder Woman and whatnot." So I was like, and then I guess I had no idea. So it's a big surprise.
she is delicious in that movie. I think the two that she's in. Oh my, she's a beautiful woman. So I'm glad her career has continued past her. Spoilers. She doesn't live too long in the franchise. But
don't listen, Corey. You don't know this yet.
Yeah, don't listen. Yeah, there you go. Fed says, "I live my life a quarter mile at a time." I don't know what that means.
I don't think they do either.
You have to be a badass driver, bro. That's how you'll know. You'll know if you live your life a quarter mile at a time. You'll know. You don't have to know. You'll know. You'll know. Tokyo Drift has the best soundtrack. Wow, Aaron. Now I'm gonna picture you at home, logging out to the Tokyo Drift soundtrack. Whenever I'm sad, I'm gonna picture that. Thank you for putting that in my head, sir. Thank you. Drag racing is on quarter mile. Yes, it's a measure of distance. But good job, Dave. Dave, have you ever done any drag racing? Let me know, because I'll report you to the police. No, I won't do that. Okay. Next story. I think we've covered the Fast and the Furious quite enough. I'm excited for it. It's crazy as hell. So I'm excited.
I got a brand new collection. So
yeah, exactly. That's why I haven't bought those.
I have this one.
I haven't bought any of those, or the John Wick ones, because I know they're going to be, once it's all done, then maybe I'll pick up the set. Down the line. All right, let's talk fantasy films, and not pornographic fantasy films, but little dwarf fantasy films. Specifically, Amazon's Lord of the Rings series, which is going to cost $365 million for one season.
465?
465, yeah. Crazy. Okay, Amazon's upcoming Lord of the Rings TV series will cost approximately $465 million to produce one season. Radio New Zealand reported that the series, which is currently filming in the country, will spend $650 million in New Zealand dollars on season one, which is the 464 rounded up to 465. Sources confirmed to Variety that the hefty price tag is accurate. Okay, that's a lot of money. The cost for Lord of the Rings far exceeds other pricey TV series like Game of Thrones, The Morning Show, The Mandalorian, all which cost roughly $15 million per episode.
Wait, The Morning Show cost that much?
What's that?
The Morning Show cost that much? Jesus.
It's the celebrities. You know, that
makes sense. I was like, what are they doing on there?
It's filmed on the moon. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. Cooper behind it, I thought.
Previous estimates for Lord of the Rings put the production budget at $500 million for multiple seasons, not to mention $250 million costs just for the friggin' rights. Oh, this will be the largest television series ever made. Wow. Well, this is not so much a conversation on Lord of the Rings, but we can talk Lord of the Rings, but budgets are it's getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Nathan, what do you think about, first of all, are you excited for a Lord of the Rings series, and what do you think of this budget?
If you can see behind me, there's some Lord of the Rings memorabilia. Yeah, I'm huge into Lord of the Rings. I mean, those movies came out at the perfect time in my youth, and so I love the movies, and I love the books. And I mean, I know we were talking earlier about like franchises that like, oh, it's in the universe, you know. So like I like the Hobbit movies, even though they're not that great, because it's in the universe of Middle Earth, and like that's the only reason I like, you know, those movies. But yeah, no, when it comes to this TV series, I've always been excited about it. It's kind of crazy that it's taken this long to get off. And I know they just had like casts. They're doing reshoots on a lot of things, I think, recently. Yeah. It's something I heard, and recasting some people and new directions and whatnot. But I mean, as a fan of Tolkien and as a fan of Lord of the Rings, I will support whatever goes on. Although this budget does seem nuts. I mean, obviously, I'm a lonely movie collector, so I don't really know what this money even looks like. You know, I spent you know, $70 on these these box sets of things. That's how much I'm like that's a rather hefty price. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, 465. I mean, is a lot, but I'm guessing for a whole season, I can't even imagine Amazon is willing to pay that. That's just nuts to me. Corey, what do you think?
Well, I too am a huge Lord of the Rings fan, Tolkien fan, and I'm looking forward to this for sure. That price tag seems hefty, but I don't know. Hopefully, throwing that kind of money will just add it, makes it awesome. I don't know. I'm a little perplexed by the title. Is it actually going to be called Lord of the Rings : something something something? Because from what I've read, it takes place, I don't know, like 6,000 years, or at least thousands of years before the Hobbit. So like the Lord of the Rings isn't even really a thing. I mean, maybe this is my nerdum shining through a little bit, but the name of the show doesn't make a lot of sense since it's
probably just recognition. Probably just recognition to get more people interested in it.
Yeah, that is a very good call. I had no idea that it took place outside of that storyline. It doesn't say here if it has a title, but yeah, most likely it's so that people know it's Lord of the Rings based. But yeah, that's kind of weird if it has nothing to do with that storyline and they call it that.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I mean, they could call it Middle Earth, and I think that has just as much recognition as like Lord of the Rings, or it's like Fantastic Beasts. They don't call those Harry Potter, right?
That's
right.
They're
in the same universe. And so, I mean, unless they're, I mean, I don't know. I've read the books, read the Silmarillion. I don't recall from reading those a connection from thousands of years before the events of Lord of the Rings, like connecting in some way. But
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good call. I don't know if they're just going to, say it's the Tolkien Chronicles or whatever the hell they're going to come up with. I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen.
Tolkien Chronicles.
I mean,
the Chronicles of Tolkien, the Lion, the Witch.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, I guess it remains to be seen. But that is a hefty budget. I mean, I guess the good news is hopefully it'll at least look good, and they're willing to invest some dough into making it pop.
Well, it is Amazon, so I guess they do have that money. So
that's pocket the Bezos. That's nothing.
Yeah, he can just do it himself if he wants. How about you do that, Bezos?
He makes that in like a day, I think. So.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Well, it's because of us, because we buy so much shit. I've got Amazon packages over here, so that's we're basically funding this this show. Aaron says, "My better half will be happy. I'm more excited about Fast 9 though." Oh man,
I'm equally excited. No, I'm more excited about Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I think that's it for our stories, right? Yes. Now we're going to talk about. Well, I guess the next story is not really a story, but I want to get your opinion on some new releases that just dropped this week. I think maybe yesterday, something like that.
2 days ago, or yesterday, I think. Yeah, I don't know.
Very recently. So, Criterion Collection, yay! July 2021 is up. If you guys watch this channel often, I love Criterion. I'm a big fan. I'm a big collector. I don't buy everything, but there's a lot here. This year's been rough. There hasn't been a lot of titles that I want to pick up from 2021. But this July release, there's a lot that I want to pick up. Let me hear from Nathan. What do you think about this slate?
I'm excited. I mean, the immediate things, like I guess the first thing that really pops up is Mirror. That's probably like the biggest title that people probably know in this lineup, because that's been like wanted for the longest time.
Yeah,
for a lot of people. I have a lot of Tarkovsky films, but I've only seen Andrei Rublev. So I can't speak too much on it. And I have several friends who really, really like Mirror, and I've heard a lot of really good things about it. But I'm excited that one. Corey, do you want to say anything about Mirror?
No, I don't.
Nice. But other than that, like the Howard Hawks film, Bringing Up Baby, definitely got my attention as well. I love Grant and Hepburn. quite a bit. So I love screwball comedies from the the 30s and 40s. So I'm all about that, and I like Howard Hawks. So that kind of brought up my attention, and then the rest of it I'm actually kind of unfamiliar with, but I like the covers are just, I mean, that's the one thing about Criterion that I do quite enjoy are the covers that really just kind of speak volumes for what we could be watching. So
yeah. Corey, your thoughts? Are you a Criterion guy or?
Oh yeah.
Or anything?
I just finally picked this up today.
Oh, nice.
I'm a huge Criterion fan collector. I kind of got into it a little late in the game, but I don't know, the past year or two, I've just been going full bore and buying more than my bank can really handle. But as far as the releases that are coming out, I'm pretty intrigued by Deep Cover. I've never seen it or even heard of it before checking these releases, and it looks awesome. It sounds awesome. So I'm certainly looking forward to that. And then anything with Hepburn is okay with me. So yeah, there's definitely some July releases I'm pretty stoked about.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm with you guys on actually those are the three that I want. Bringing a Baby is a classic. This is one of the first movies I ever saw on TCM way back in the day. Love this movie. I love that cast. Mirror, I love Tarkovsky. Stalker is one of those movies that you do you have this one, Nathan? Do you have Stalker? Okay.
I have, like I said, I've only seen Rublev. I have Stalker, and I have shoot, what the heck? Why can't I think of The Sacrifice and a few of other the what's his first Ivan's Childhood and whatnot.
Oh yes.
I'll stop there. I have those movies at least off the top of my head.
Oh man, yeah. Ivan's Childhood is one of the saddest, most beautiful movies ever made. Stalker is such a, I don't even know if I know what it's about, but I really enjoyed watching it, and I'm pretty sure that's how I'm going to experience Mirror. Because I hear it's all about memory, and I'm fascinated by that, how a filmmaker like Tarkovsky can interpret that. I think that's very interesting. The Deep Cover, I remember renting back in the day because I was fascinated by the idea that it was directed by Bill Duke, who he's I'm blanking on the movie. Is it Predator? I'm gonna look it up.
Is he in Predator?
I'm gonna look this up real quick. Bill Duke, because I don't go, oh shit, Bill Duke did it. He's in some action movie. Predator. That's right. Okay, so he's one of Schwarzenegger's buddies, and holy shit,
along with Shane Black and Jesse Ventura.
Yes. Like crazy cast. So I'm like, yeah, Bill Duke made a movie. So I remember renting this back in the day, but I don't recall it. But I'm gonna grab it because I mean, you got Jeff Goldblum as a drug dealer. I mean, it's good stuff. Working Girls.
Artist told me.
Oh, okay, good. Great. This is I see. I thought it was a documentary, but I don't think it's a documentary. But it's about prostitution. I might have to wait for a couple of reviews on that. But here, this is an interesting one that I'm on the fence about. I love Alain Delon. I think he's an amazing actor. And I'm not sure if this is just a sexy hanging out at the beach or at the pool in this case kind of movie, or if there's actually kind of like thriller elements. So if anybody in the chat knows, let us know. I might pick it up anyway. It's like the Barnes & Noble sale comes around and I'm like, I think I'm good. And I'm like, do I want this? Fuck it, I'll grab it. That always happens.
Yeah.
Where do you guys buy your stuff? Do you guys normally wait for sales, or do you pay full price?
If I really want it, I'll pay full price. But I usually wait for the sales, and I'll check the Amazon sales, obviously the Criterion sales. Right now, my local record store has a Criterion sale. Wow. That's why I picked this up. This was $18 on sale there. So
wow.
Worth it. I'm really excited. I think on Tuesday, Memories of a Murder comes out too. That Criterion.
Yeah. Yes.
Bong Joon-ho.
Yes. So and they're May, June. They're just on fire this year. There's a lot of good releases coming out. then we don't have to wait till July for. So.
Yeah, I usually wait for flash sales or Barnes and Nobles. Nathan, how do you buy your Criterion?
I'm similar. I guess if there's something that I really, really want, then I'll buy it full price. And like to be honest, I want to get the Wong Kar-wai box set pretty badly, but I think I'm gonna hold off until the sale in July.
Yeah.
And then there's a few titles like The Flowers of Shanghai I think that comes out later in May that I'm excited about, and there's some other titles that I want. But it's weird because like I've kind of shifted my attention to like Indicator and a couple of other like boutique labels, and I'm just like I feel like I'm being stretched everywhere, and it's very difficult for me to like. I mean, like obviously, like Warner Archive just had their like last 44, and like I definitely like splurged like a lot of people did. Like I got like almost 30 titles from just them alone, which is a lot for me. Yeah, I don't know. I usually wait for the sales generally. So
I see your Indicator box sets back there, and they just look so beautiful on a shelf, man.
Yeah, I really want the Harryhausen Volume 2 because I really want Jason and the Argonauts. I've never seen that movie, and I still haven't.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, all those box sets are phenomenal. The one I'm waiting for, but I don't like to pay full price unless it's something that I know is going to sell out. Like, oh, this is limited. So I usually wait, and that's sort of like I can tell my wife, "Oh, I waited for a sale," so I say $5 or whatever. But the one I really want is the Fu Manchu box set. That one. Oh man! Oh, look at that! That's awesome.
Yep.
Can't wait. So I'm waiting for that. If ever I get an email from Indicator, oh hey, the box set's on sale for 20% off or something, I'm gonna jump on that shit because I'm a big fan of them. Aaron says, great titles. Lizzie Borden's Working Girls is a really good film. You know, Aaron, I was gonna ask you what you thought of that movie. So for some reason I thought you'd know about that. Not that you're into prostitutes. I'm just saying. You know,
it's all that Fast and Furious stuff.
It's connected. Yeah. Lou. Oh, I am from Brazil. Well, welcome. Was it Brazil that they shot Fast 5? Isn't that where it took place? In Rio? I think that's where it was.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That they dragged the safe through. That's amazing.
They just destroyed the city.
Yeah. Indicator does amazing box sets. Yes,
they do. My favorite box sets.
Yes, absolutely. No Walk 420. Have you seen the Creepshow series on Shudder? Have you guys checked it out?
I've seen the first season.
Yeah, same. First season, not the second. I think. Well, Marilyn Manson's in the process of being canceled right now, and I think he was like supposed to be in an episode. They just scrubbed him from.
Oh wow.
With the new.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just say he was supposed to be in the new season, but I think they've scrubbed him since. Going down with him.
Yeah. I've seen the first season as well. I was pretty impressed with the storylines. What do you guys think of the show overall?
It was a lot of fun. I'm glad that they. I wish I guess it's been a while since I saw like the movie, obviously. And then I watched the show before I rewatched the movie last October. And then I was like I kind of wish that Shudder had a little bit more of a budget, but also at the same time, like going through the season, just keep going and further. I'm like, you know what? This is perfect. Actually, I don't know why I had that initial thought. So
that's awesome. Corey, you like the stories?
Yeah, and I really felt like they keep the essence of the original Creep shows, which I appreciate. I mean, it's got a little bit of an update, but that energy and essence is still there. And I mean, I love first Creep show, so much fun, very nostalgic. Even the second Creep show is a lot of fun. There's some cool stories in there, like that thing in the lake or the pond there.
Yes, that scared the shit out of me, man.
I mean.
Well, I'm normally scared of the ocean anyway. When I was a kid, I watched Jaws. I'm surrounded in Jaws merch all over in my office.
Oh, right on.
Remind you of your fear.
Yeah, exactly. So to this day, my kids are like, "Hey, let's go to the beach." I'm like, "No, I'm good. You guys go have fun with mom." If you die, I warned you. I showed you Jaws. but yeah, the oil slick one and the second one.
Yeah.
Aaron also vouches for the Fu Manchu set. I know. I remember we talked about that, Aaron. I can't wait to get that. Working Girls is part of the feminist cinema film wave. Okay, I didn't know that was a thing. Good to know. And that's the best part about. Oh, what is this? This is a poster.
It came with it.
Oh, that is badass. Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You know what I love about cinema is it's we all talk about it being a journey. We all talk about it being such a discovery. You hear so many people talking about a movie, then you discover it and you love it or you hate it, but it leads you down a road and opens doorways. And I love movies. It makes me happy to just be talking about it. Aaron says, fun show, but the creep should talk. Okay, yeah, I guess he doesn't, but he didn't talk in the movie though, right? I don't think he talked in the movie.
No, I just laughed maniacally.
Yeah, I don't think he talks, Aaron, because it's going to be too much like Tales from the Crypt, and they don't want to bite it off. Eternal Melancholy. Hi all. I hope everyone is doing well. Well, we are, and I hope you're doing well as well, my friend. I'm sending you lots of good vibes. Okay, let's talk about our next. Where are we? Our next. Okay, yeah, we're going to get into the sales now.
All right, I got the pages open so I can buy as we're doing this.
Where is it? Let's go. This one is dropping tonight, actually, in 30 minutes, 7 p.m. Pacific time. This is Ebon Press. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ebon Press, but this is amazing. They do amazing, full-color, gorgeous comic book adaptations of horror movies. They've got Maniac, they've got The Beyond, they've got Gates, like all the Fulci stuff. Amazing shit. Here's what the sale offers. Big 50% off sale, 4 days only, starts this Friday. Hey kids, Sean here with a big deal announcement. Come on here, so we'll be on the same page here. As a big thank you to everyone who has been hanging in there with us and supporting indie comics during this shitty time, we're launching one last 50% off sale for this year. Yep. For just 4 days, everything will be half price one last time. So let's take a look at what they have, because I want to show you guys the amazing stuff that you can buy. So look at the artwork on this shit. Oh, my God. Okay, so they've got Lucio Fulci's Zombie. Look at that. A sequel. A sequel to the movie. They've got Gates of Hell. Oh, man. The New York Ripper. That's crazy. I didn't know about New York Ripper. House by the Cemetery, and I think these are all sort of sequels, or like takeoffs of the movies. They have also got Maniac here. It's normally $38, 50% off of that. That's not too shabby. You get the entire run. I think it comes in a slipcase.
Oh, nice.
Gates of Hell, $30, trade paperback. That's pretty sweet. Looks like Zombie and all the other ones are sold out, but you might be able to get them individually. Are you guys big comic book guys?
I used to be a little bit more. I definitely dabbled in like Image Comics and some Marvel and DC stuff back in the day. It's been a long time since I've got comics. I think the last kind of runs that I really picked up were like American Vampire and East of West. I think that's the last stuff that I picked up. Gotcha.
Corey, are you a comic book guy?
Same. I used to, but I can only collect so much. So some things kind of go by the wayside. I focus most of my collections now with movies, pretty much. But as a kid, definitely, it was a lot of like Marvel. I think the last thing I started that I was collecting regularly was The Walking Dead when those started coming out.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I still appreciate a good comic for sure, and graphic novels for that matter.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, I dabbled a little bit in comics. When I was a kid, I had a long box here and there, but I was never really 100% into it. It's definitely more about movies and books. Then I got into manga, so I've been reading a lot more of like, you know, horror manga and things like that. But then Avon sort of popped up on my radar, and I've been wanting to pick stuff up from here. And now that there's a sale, I shall. Oh my god, I am so excited! I hope it looks like a lot of this stuff is like sold out, so maybe I'll be able to grab it. Whatever's available, I'm gonna find it. But just bringing that to your attention, chat. If you guys, you know, oh, hold on a minute. Let me see here. Let me remove this. Sardis. Once they started selling for 75 cents, I stopped. You mean the comics? That was a long time ago.
I think it was, well, it was like up until like the 80s when they went to that, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Video store review. Do you think it's a good time to start collecting physical media? Do you think the ship has sailed? That's a good question. No, let's address it now. I'm going to defer to Nathan. What do you think?
I think it is. I mean, I know that several content creators have talked a lot about like maybe at least when it comes to like, you know, Blu-rays and like physical media in that sense, like 2020 was like a really big year. And for a lot of that, I think, you know, it'll eventually reach its peak. It'll still be around for a while. But you know, it's always good to start. I think, you know, like whatever you have, that's the one thing. And I know we were going to possibly talk about it a little bit later about like minimalism a little bit too, but just the idea of, you know, just enjoying your collection and enjoying what you have and like just building it from there. And like, that's the big thing. And honestly, like, you know, sometimes like that's what I got lost in is like, I just got lost in the idea of collecting so much that I wasn't really super happy with like what I already had. And so like, that's one of the, you know, shifts that I've had that is like, I can do both. I can still collect a lot and I can still enjoy what I already have. And like, it's just taking the time out of my day, or if I have the time, to focus on that and like really just appreciate it and realize that like, you know, this is still worthwhile. It's something that I enjoy.
Absolutely. Corey, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a wonderful time to collect. I feel like ever since I'm pretty sure I was born a collector. You know, started with like baseball cards and treasure trolls, and you know, it's always been ingrained in my DNA. But you know, I start since collecting like VHS as a kid. Like I feel like I've always been told that the time of physical media is coming to an end. Like don't invest so much into it, and I haven't seen it yet, and I certainly don't see an end in sight. If anything, right, it's ramping up. Like we were saying earlier, 2020 was a phenomenal year for physical media, and 2021 is looking just as phenomenal. Especially all these boutique labels that have been coming out. It's certainly easy to get paralyzed by choice, and like you can kind of get that mindset as a collector, like I just need to buy because all this stuff's coming out, it looks cool. And I do think like trying to hone in on like maybe not necessarily your niche, but like, you know, what you really geek out and interested in, like focus in that area so you have a meaningful collection that you can be proud of and doesn't just look pretty on your shelf, like you actually get some use out of it.
Right.
I purged my collection, well, I would say probably at the beginning of the pandemic when I actually had time to like sit down and like watch movies. I'm like, holy crap, I got a lot of stuff that's just garbage. Like I just bought it because like some boutique label put it out and like the cover looked cool. And, you know, I'm still guilty of making those choices, but I'm certainly much more mindful. My wallet's happier and I'm happier as a result. But yeah, I don't see physical media going away anytime soon. And I think anyone that's just starting now is a really awesome time to get in on the game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Where is he? Hold on, I lost it here. Aaron chimes in. It's a glorious time to collect. I think we're definitely in a golden era when it comes to collecting. For me, you know, yeah, back in the day, you know, I'm 42, so I was there at the beginning when when you were able to buy VHS for the first time and it was affordable. I remember walking to a Suncoast video store a long time ago, and I saw. Oh yeah.
There's a few that existed, you know, in the malls.
Yeah. I remember walking in and seeing Terminator 2 on VHS. It was $100. I remember thinking, "Holy shit, $100! we can get that, right? Let's buy that. Look, we can own it now. My dad's like, no, we're not paying $100 for that. You know, we can rent it for $3 or whatever. But that opened my eyes to what physical media meant, to having movies, to having that access. I could, if I wanted to right now, I could watch The Illustrated Man whenever I want. You know, having access to this stuff, I opened my eyes as not only as a film fan, but at the time I was a future filmmaker. I was like, I want to learn. I want to learn from these guys who've done it, who've been there. You know, and this was before special features. You know, there was no supplements. There's no behind the scenes. There's no audio commentaries. So the only way to learn is to watch and embrace and take it all in. So that's where my collecting began. Is just wanting to watch everything and take it all in. And yeah, when it comes to is physical media dying, I will point you in the direction of all the boutique labels popping up, and I will also indicate the prices that they're charging for these titles. I spoke with the heads of Severin, David Gregory, and I asked him, "What do you think? Do you think I mean, you make this stuff? Do you think it's dying?" And he says, "As long as they're making Blu-ray players, it's not going anywhere." When you hear Blu-ray players, they're not manufacturing Blu-ray players anymore, then you worry. So there you go. That's the answer. You know, from Severin themselves. You know, they feel comfortable. I talked to Massacre Video, and the same thing. It's like I haven't seen a drop off whatsoever. As a matter of fact, more people are buying now with the pandemic. That's actually, you know, this channel was born because of the pandemic. I wanted something to do, and I became 10 times the collector because of this channel, and because I was bored at home, and I was like, okay, shit, oh wow, Indicator, oh okay. So, you know, and connecting with people like Aaron and Nathan and all these other channels and all these wonderful content creators inspired me to add more to my collection. But I don't consider myself a collector. Because I know a guy, he's here, he was in the chat. Tony and the Dad, how you doing, Tony? He says his wallet hurts. Well, I'll tell you why your wallet hurts, Tony.
That's what we do.
Your wallet hurts because you buy 2 of everything. That's a lot. I know he's got 2 of the Beastmaster set from Vinegar Syndrome. He's got 1 wrapped up and 1 to watch.
Mine's up there.
You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that, man. I don't know. So I don't consider myself a collector when it comes to I need to have it pristine or whatever. It's like I buy it because I want to watch it. Mm-hmm. And if it sucks, I'll find a way to get rid of it. Yep. You know, and so in my mind, and I think you spoke to this point, Nathan, one of your videos, you're sort of just building for lack of a better word, a library. You know, you're essentially just sort of building something for you to go back to, not so much as like, I'm going to hoard this and, you know, essentially maybe, you know, scalp it down the line or anything. And so I think that's
right. Watch out for the hoard word, because my dad is a hoarder. So yeah, that's where I got my collecting bug probably. But luckily, this is alphabetized catalogs. I've seen most of it, and there's a line. There's a line between a collector and a hoarder.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Tony says lies. I don't buy 2 of everything. Yes, you do. Well, you buy 2 of most things. And this is my show. You buy 2 things of everything. Go away. No, I love you, Tony. Let's hear from the chat here. Aaron says he's collecting comic book omnibuses. I think that's the way to go. It's definitely a cost-saving
way to go.
Absolutely. Yeah, NNN has a comment I'm going to get back to because it's going to link to something else we're going to be talking about. Sardi says, as long as we support the industry, I think the ship will stay in port. Absolutely. Once people stop, I'd never seen Alphabet City, but I bought it. You know what I mean? Once people say, I've never seen it, I'm not buying it. That's when shit starts dying. So hopefully not for a while. There you go. There you go, man.
I'll have to borrow Corey's.
Yeah.
Did you like Alphabet City?
I did. I liked it better the second time. The first time I'm like, I don't know what the big deal is, but the second time I liked it better.
Yeah, I bought it because it looked pretty, but I was a little disappointed. But I didn't watch it a second time, so maybe I'll go back.
Yeah, the thing about the second time, it kind of like, I think, is you're expecting like a really slick, super neon heavy movie, and it's just essentially an 80s guy driving around kind of movie. But it's, for what it is, it's good. But part of me, and maybe you guys have the same problem, part of me says, I better fucking like this. So I go in with rose-colored glasses sometimes. I don't know if you guys do that, but I do that all the time.
Yeah, especially if I spend a good amount of money, like I'll just make myself like it to justify the purchase. It's good enough.
Yeah, I'm generally pretty agreeable with the stuff that I buy. Like, even if I don't like it, I'm like, I guess I can find a home for it with a friend or something.
It's a little orphan. The days of renting and using second VCR to copy the film. Yes. Oh my God, that was the best. My dad, we had HBO, so we had our original collection was just off taping shit off of HBO. Oh man, good times, good times. Casey says some of the labels are a bit pricey. Sharks of the Corn was not worth $30+. But it's great to not depend on streaming service licensing to decide what you can watch. Yeah, Sharks was, yeah. I hope you didn't pay that, but I'm assuming you did.
He did, yeah.
Oh God, that's a spicy meatball, my friend.
That's another thing, though. Streaming services. I'm glad that they exist. They coexist with it, because I mean, something I always think about, and maybe something that I might want to do in the future is I always thought about like potentially like sharing this in some capacity, maybe like having my own theater, or I don't exactly know what with that, but I always thought about accessibility, because I mean, the more and more you collect, you're like, well, like, I have 3 jobs, and those 3 jobs can support this. And, that's perfectly fine for me, but obviously that's not everybody. And so like when people like, bring up price and stuff for things, and like, it's not something I think about much, because generally it's like I can support that. But, when I if I talk about Indicator or something, right, from the UK, there is like a shipping, that like costs like just as much as like one of their films, and like I know that's a big detractor for a lot of people from buying stuff with a little bit of a price tag.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely sort of the burden of the collector nowadays, is you have to find a way to budget that, and it's not always easy. Just Dave says, I remember going on vacation as a kid, and my dad would rent a VCR for a week from the video store. We would watch movies all night. Yes, I never rented the videos, the VCR. My dad was a tech head, so we always had he had everything. He had Laserdisc, he had Beta. He always, and I didn't realize how expensive these things were back in the day, but he always had that. And so I'm not necessarily a tech head, but I'm up on all that. I actually just recently became region free, which is amazing. It unlocks a whole. Yeah, me too. Man, that's when you go region free. It's like all bets are off. You can get anything.
Yeah. I'm deeply nostalgic for that era of like, your Best Buys or home vision video was a big one in my area. Video port was another. I remember as a kid, I mean, it really kind of started it all. Like, well, HBO, watching horror films on HBO and nudie films late at night on HBO really kind of jump started it, scaring the crap out of me. But growing up, my best bud and I, every Friday, his mom would take us, buy us a pizza, and we'd get 5 movies, $5 for 5 nights. We just rent like 5 horror films, and it was just, God, I think that's what I'm chasing as a collector. Still, I think I'm chasing those, experiences, because they were just so informative to who I am today. It's I wish I had video rental places. I'm trying to create a Blockbuster.
I was going to say, I kind of miss the idea of having that limited amount, because obviously we're the Blockbuster stores now, but I kind of miss that, the idea of renting, you can escape from your collection or whatever, or escape from the Blockbuster store, you get what you get, and then you spend the time with it. I mean, obviously back then we had less responsibilities, and so we had that. And that's something I miss a little bit too, especially thinking about HBO and just recording with the VHS. Those are always good memories.
It's funny because we grew up in such a I mean, we're all different ages, I assume, but we all sort of have the same experience as obviously we're all film fans and collectors, so I assume we have the same feeling about this stuff. Is that there's a magic to owning it? There's a magic, and you feel like you're connected to your childhood. I love that fact, and I always remember. I remember for my birthday, I said, "Dad, I don't remember how old I was, but I go, all I want is $100, and I want to buy whatever I wanted at." There's a really amazing video store. It was kind of like a proto Best Buy called Incredible Universe in Florida, where I grew up in Miami. It's out of business now, but they had everything. They had Rhino home video, like they had that's where I discovered Ed Wood. So they had all these crazy ass movies, Elvira, all that shit. And so I remember going on a super buying spree for one of my birthdays, and that was amazing. I walked home and I had this big bag of movies, VHSs and light. So I felt like, oh, this is so awesome. And I don't know. I think I am always kind of chasing that high, that memory, of that childhood experience of what movies mean to us. And I look at my kids now; they're very much Disney Plus, Netflix people, and because of who I am and what I have, they also have their own physical media collections. But I wonder if they're going to have as much of a connection to it as we are with everything becoming so online.
Yeah, the tangibility is a big deal, I think.
Yeah. It's crazy shit. Aaron says this might be a sacrilege coming from me, but I think Arrow's sale might be better than the upcoming Vinegar Syndrome sale. The Arrow
Easter
sale
Carnage,
is
the Easter Carnage one.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It was a good sale.
That was a good sale. Did you buy anything from Grindhouse Video, guys?
I didn't.
No, I was excited about the Arrow sale, but then I realized I pretty much had everything that they were offering up. So I mean, there was excellent titles in there for sure for collectors that don't have that stuff. But
yeah, I grabbed a whole bunch of box sets because that's the stuff that I was missing. So I wasn't expecting to buy all that stuff, but I did. Aaron, is the sale going on now? I thought it was over.
It got pushed, or at least I got pushed a little bit further.
Oh, on the Arrow website itself, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh shit! Okay, I did not know that. I grabbed some stuff already. I think I'm good. I better not go back. Let's see. Oh man, there's a lot here. Let me see. I'm trying to. I'm a bit concerned about some of the recent titles. Are you talking about Vinegar Syndrome? I'm curious. They have gone all in doing the 3 Renee Cardona boxes. I'm not sure there's 9 good. It remains to be seen, man. I kind of agree with you. I think that is a bit much. Let me reference a comment that I saw up here from my buddy NNN Horror. Welcome, Nick. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. It's the one before that. There we go. When big companies try to scare you into buying a super limited edition, I get irritated. Not falling for that anymore. I know what he's talking about, and he's talking about a company we're going to be talking about right now, and that is, of course, Shout Factory, aka Scream Factory. They have a sale going on now.
Oh, no.
They just announced this. It's a steelbook sale. It's not amazing though. I mean, these aren't amazing prices, but I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention here. For those of you who don't necessarily know, are you guys? Well, I know Nathan. I know you're not a big steelbook guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of was years ago. But like the creme de la creme in my collection is those Universal Alex Ross like steelbooks. Those are my favorites of all the steelbooks that I have. Other than that, like it's like really hit and miss. Like that Christine was nice, but there are a few that I enjoy. Like let's see, I have this Fargo right here that I like quite a bit.
There you go.
But it's I mean, like I said, it's not something I've really been focused on in a long time, probably.
Same here, Corey. What do you think about the steelbooks in general?
I like them. I've actually just recently started getting into them a little more. I actually funny. I just ordered Fargo today as part of that.
Hey, there it is.
Yep.
I've been really getting into the Best Buy Steelbook exclusives. I'm trying to think. Like I've been going back. Like I just bought like Halloween and The Shining. A lot of like the Stephen King 4Ks they've been putting out on Steelbook.
Oh, okay.
I kind of missed the boat, so I'm paying like primo prices on eBay for those. I'm pretty excited though. Like speaking of Steelbooks, the Indie 4K is coming out, and Best Buy is putting out a Steelbook of those, and I think June. Super 8's coming out on 4K on Steelbook, which looks really cool. Probably the best Steelbook collection. Excuse me, get up here for a second. I just picked this bad boy up. This is the 4K Game of Thrones Steelbook.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Numbered and I mean the casing's a little cheesy, but I don't know. I'm pretty psyched about that. I also have like the Lord of the Rings and Hobbits Steelbooks that come out. So it wasn't something I was
I just got that
too, but I'm really hitting it hard.
Lord of the Rings Steelbooks. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Although I am bummed with the extended, there's no special features in the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
These phenomenal like documentaries that were just as long as the feature films themselves. And
I'm never getting rid of this.
Yeah.
I actually have the extended DVDs over there too.
Yeah, if you're a collector and you want to upgrade, if you want those documentaries, keep the Blu-ray edition as well, because it's pretty bare bones. I heard that to coincide with that series that's coming out, they're actually putting out another 4K they're all extended, and they're going to have all these special features, just a way to,
and the Hobbit films too.
Even more, but
together, all of it together.
Yeah.
Jesus. Wow. For me, I'm not a giant Steelbook guy. If I find it and it's something I don't have, but I'm not going to double dip on anything. But I don't have, this one jumped out at me. I don't have Streets of Fire. So I think I'm going to grab that for sure. That's a really fun movie, and I don't have Rock and Roll High School. Quite tempting, damn you.
Yeah, I don't really like to double dip either. I'll say, but I will say I have been upgrading to 4K, and what I've been finding with my Steelbook obsession lately is if I'm gonna like upgrade anyway, then I'll try and like upgrade with the 4K and the Steelbook. But I won't do like a lateral move. If I have like a Blu-ray, I won't like seek out like a Blu-ray Steelbook,
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So yeah, Chad, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Steelbook sale, I don't know when it's over. But maybe.
What does it say about the shipping though? How much does it cost for all these hefty, the weight?
Well, yeah, I guess that remains to be seen. But it says shipping may take longer due to everything going on.
Right, which is typical right now.
Well, I literally just ordered Fargo. Let me double check what the shipping cost on that was.
Well, I wonder how if there's like a limit, or like if it gets like really expensive because of the weight.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they can ship media, or they should be shipping it media, which would be cheaper. But.
Yeah, I do have the Piranha Steelbook. I just remembered I do have that, but I think that's it for Screen Factory. Let's talk about something that Nick was referencing. The weirdness that Screen Factory sort of started doing, where they say, "Oh, hey, we only have 1,000 copies of this super shitty movie. You have to buy it right now because we're not going to reprint it." And they've been doing that recently. I think most of their recent releases have been super limited like that. What do you guys think? That's just BS tactics to get it to move off the shelf, or do you think they for some reason have to have it limited?
Probably the former more so. I feel like it definitely moves things more.
Yeah. There you go. That was one of them. Yeah.
Not great. But they got me. I was like, oh shit, I should get on this. They did release this as a double feature like years ago. It was like one of those but I hadn't seen it. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if they were $20, I might grab it, but they're like $27, $28. I'm like, nah.
Big fear of missing out stuff going on. With that tactic, yeah. I mean, I know like we're talking about Scream Factory, but like I know Indicator, But like Indicator started out with the limited run, like that, like that's been their kind of their idea the whole time.
Yeah.
And then like they said, like, okay, if there's a limited run, like we're gonna release a standard edition. So like there's also like they're still releasing, the movie. Just in they're gonna not have as much of like the flair and stuff that comes with it, But
yeah, absolutely. Looks like here, let me get this so we don't get covered when we talk to the chat here. Aaron is a Power Rangers fan. Well, I'm learning so much about you. Power Rangers, fast family. I love it. Interweb Kaiju. Why is that pop star cover look so intense?
I love that movie. That movie's great.
It's an anti-Semitic musical comedy. Hope people don't buy it thinking it's an action movie. Yeah, I don't remember that happening in the film, but it's been a while.
A lot of things happen in that movie.
That's true. That's true. And then it says, I love steelbooks, but when they get scratches or dents, it makes me cringe. So I'd almost rather buy a plastic case as long as it isn't the dreadful eco cases. I love the plastic cases. I actually do that with my Vinegar Syndrome titles just to keep them safe. Do you guys put plastics on your slipcover movies or no?
No, unless it comes with it. So like, I'm just gonna grab Bride of Frankenstein here. That came with the slip.
Oh, great. Gotcha. Yeah.
Like unless it has it, like I don't really mess with it much. So
gotcha. I don't have an example of one, but I do for the slipcover ones because I don't want them to tear. This one actually should have a cover on it. I don't know what it is, but I only just started doing that because I saw someone do a video on it, and I kind of like the idea of, for posterity and keeping dust and crap off of it.
Yeah.
It's from melancholy
every day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. That's one of them. Yeah. Everyone is into steelbooks, but I love buying digibooks. I'll only buy a steelbook if it's cheap. Digibooks, I'm kind of on the fence on. I know Criterion loves them, but I feel the packaging feels a little flimsy to me. I don't know.
Yeah, especially like Criterion does them.
Yeah,
because it's just like those thick books, but there's nothing like really.
That's a great box.
This is one of my favorites. But yeah, this is very flimsy though. Like the way that I have some bent corners with it. That easily gets bent. But if I'm thinking of like digipacks like across the bay, if I'm looking at my my King Kong, which is over there, and like maybe like the Frank Capra, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, like those digibooks, I actually really do like because they're packaged pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's really all about the packaging, but they do look pretty nice. I think overall, but yeah, I'm just afraid that shit will fall out because it's happened. Unfortunately, with that stuff. Aaron is a Sentai fan in general. Good, I'm glad. Worst looking steelbook I have is American Werewolf from Future Shop. Fave is probably that Halloween 3 one. Future Shop. What is Future Shop? I don't know that one. Do you guys know Future Shop?
No.
Well, Indie Phantom. Thanks for putting that on my radar. I'm gonna look at the Future Shop.
Season of the Witch, though. Good movie.
Off topic, but what did you guys? I'll start with Corey. What did you guys think of Halloween 3 the first time you saw it?
Well, I hated it because I saw it as a kid. I wanted more Michael Myers, but it's one of my favorites now. I love it. Especially when you compare it to like 4, 5, or 6, you can't really. It's like apples and oranges. You can't really compare. But I'd love for Carpenter to do something kind of zany like that again. I'd love for him to make another Halloween that's not a Michael Myers Halloween. I think that would be great.
Nathan, what did you think of part 3 when you first saw it?
Well, the weird thing is, like, I've only seen. I've seen all the movies now, but I vaguely recall watching the third one, maybe in my teens, and like not really having much of an impact. And then, like, obviously in the more recent years, since I've like revisited and like thought about it, and how honestly the third movie has like gotten like quite a bit of a underground buzz. I think I'm like, I get it. Like I do enjoy it quite a bit, and I think it's its own thing. So
similar feelings when I first rented it. I'm like, oh right, let's continue part 3. And then it's just a completely bizarre storyline about robots and bug-filled masks. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I hated it. I hated it. I'm like, what the fuck were they thinking? This is awful. And then only in later years, I was like, oh, okay, I get what he was trying to do. Let me rewatch it with that lens. And it's so weird, but it's such a fun, enjoyable experience of a Halloween movie.
And such a song too.
Oh man, yes, an earworm for sure.
I actually have a right here. It's probably hard to see on the camera, but this is a piece of pebble from Shamrock Factory that
nice.
a friend of mine sent to me. Like he packaged these up. He lives in that area where they film that.
That's crazy! Wow.
Yeah. A little collector piece there. I actually Halloween 3. I got at Blockbuster. I bought the three VHS set that had 1, 2, and 3. And that was my introduction into Halloween. I was probably 8 or 9. And, since then, I mean, still, I think Halloween for me is my favorite horror franchise, like within that vein. Like if you're thinking like Freddy and Jason, Michael, like Halloween takes the cake. And I know most of them are horrible, but it's, again, that nostalgia. It's just, me, man.
So, question as a Halloween fan, what did you think of the 2018 one that essentially says, forget everything you know, we're restarting it, from part 1? What did you feel about? How did you feel about that? Because you seem like you're a fan of canon.
Yeah, well, so actually, I kind of brought this up at one of your other your live showings. We were talking. We got on the topic of canon, and like I'd asked you, where is it acceptable to kind of mess with that canon? And I do, like I said, I have a place in my heart for those horrible Halloween films, but I think that is a perfect example where kind of scrapping some of the canon to build anew was appropriate. And I loved it. Like if you can watch like 1 and 2 and then jump right to that one, and it's awesome. I've done it, and it's kind of fun to see the story in that way. The thing I love about Halloween is it's so disjointed that you can kind of like mix and match like that to get like a different perspective for that Halloween canon, which I think is a lot of fun to do. But never watch the one with Busta Rhymes. Like, you just always skip that one. No, you're garbage.
I start there, and then I'm watching the. I don't know. I liked what they were doing, but I kind of, I don't know. I think when a franchise has to like burn it all down and start again, I feel like that's kind of that's bad. And I hope they don't do that with Scream. I hope Part 5, which they're calling Scream, is not a let's burn it all down and start again. I really hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, Scream, that's another near and dear for me, that whole franchise. And
all of them are pretty good. So
but to circle back to Halloween, like, you kind of have to blame Rob Zombie for burning it all down. Like his 2 films really just, I mean, where do you go from there? Like their hand was kind of forced. I mean, he just kind of did 1 and 2 again, and right in the middle of the franchise. So
yeah.
If you're gonna mess with the canon, like that was your end right there.
No, those are awful. Those are awful. Oh.
So brutal. Just ugh. Yeah. The thing I like about Michael Myers is he's this ominous, terrifying person, but Rob Zombie just kind of put him on this level that I was not happy. It was just too brutal for me.
Gotcha. Aaron says, oh my God, I can't type now. You can skip Dangertainment. You can't. You know what? I'm renaming the channel Dangertainment. And I'm gonna grow dreadlocks out. It's gonna be great. I think it'll work. The entire point of Scream is self-referential, so it needs the other films. I agree, and I think my theory is they're calling Part 5 just Scream because it's a reference off of essentially Halloween 2018, which is going back to the roots. So as long as they cast the same actors and they're playing themselves.
They're in space. They're gonna get
exactly. That's where it ends, right? They all take off on a rocket. Let's see. Question: any movie or franchise that you want to see in 4K? I want the 1933 King Kong and the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Okay, I'll let my my guests answer that. Nathan, what would you like to see in 4K?
I'm put on the spot. I don't really know off the top of my head.
You can think about it.
Yeah, I'll think about
we'll circle back. Corey, do you have anything?
Well, I was saying for the longest time that I thought Indy should be, transferred 4K. They're doing it, so I'm very psyched about that. I think 4K isn't always the end all be all either. A lot of those Star Wars, especially the newer Star Wars they put on 4K, are not great. And I think that's kind of Disney's fault. But I think I'm, maybe getting a little. I'd like to see The Exorcist. I'd like to see the original Exorcist as a 4K, and that kind of feeds into someone's question about that new Exorcist documentary that just came out. I haven't seen it, but I did just pick it up. And I'm very excited to see it. This is one of the most terrifying films I'd ever seen when I saw it. So the documentary looks excellent. And I think that would be an excellent 4K.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan, have you thought of anything?
I mean, I'm still looking around. I'm looking across the bay where all my standard movies are, and I don't know. I guess There Will Be Blood would be something that I would like to see in 4K. Maybe. Yeah. A lot of those movies around that time period. I really love The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Yeah,
that movie would be. I mean, I guess I'm just picking 2007 movies. So we might as well put No Country for Old Men in that talk too, and we'll call it those three movies I'd like to see on 4K. I'm sure No Country might be. I have no idea. I'm not super up to date.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I'd like to see Tarantino's films on 4K.
Yeah,
like Bill. Yeah,
that'd be great. For me, all my favorite movies are already on 4K. Jaws, It's a Wonderful Life. So I'm, Back to the Future. So I think I'm good. I do.
Was good.
Which one?
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm hoping speaking of Scream, when that comes out, that they're going to re-release them all on 4K, and I'm definitely going to grab that.
You probably will.
I think that's going to be great. Aaron wants the Phantasm franchise in 4K. I'm not a fan of the Phantasm movies.
No,
they don't work for me.
I like the first two, and then it's kind of.
The first two are good. Yeah, the first two are good. I don't know that they would need it. I don't know. 4K? I don't know. Not sure. Nightmare on Elm Street series isn't available as far as I know. I had to buy the bootleg from Sloppy Second Sales. On 4K? I don't think that's available yet. Maybe he's talking about something else. Let's just hope Friedkin doesn't color time a 4K Exorcist to look like Moby Dick. We'll be fine. Oh, man. Well, all that stuff's been happening with the Wong Kar-wai set. I know a lot of people are up in arms about the Wong Kar-wai went in and colored, or was it colored and re-edited a lot of the movies? So a lot of the fans are pissed you can't get the original.
Well, I still have my In the Mood for Love, and I'll keep that. I won't sell it. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a sale box set for me. Indie Phantasm is great. I have still not seen 4. I did see 5, which is not the best, but watchable. The first is amazing. 4 is just a clip reel of the best hits of the series, and 5 is a shot-on-video disaster. I mean, it's awful. Yeah, painful. What Corey? Are you following the Phantasm franchise? Have you seen Ravager?
Yeah, I've seen them, but I can't recall much beyond the first two. The first two were kind of it for me, and like you, I just kind of whatever.
Yeah. It's not. It's best when Coscarelli is behind the camera. It is. A funny story. I went to see these in a theater here in LA. They were showing. I want to say the first 3, maybe the first 4, like in a marathon. And I'm sitting with my friend, and we'd seen the movies before, but it's been a while. And the movie starts, and we're like, this isn't making any sense. What the hell is going on? And then we hear giggling behind us, and I turn around, and Don Coscarelli, Reggie Bannister, and somebody else from the movie are sitting behind us. And I was like, oh shit. I felt really embarrassed, but then it was cool. Like we were all sort of just giggling at the movie's inconsistencies, and it could have been really bad. Like you could have given me the stink eye, but he was cool. He understood, and we all just kind of had a good time with it. It's my only memory that I have associated with Phantasm. Okay, so that's it. Oh, actually, no. I just realized. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, I know you guys are big Lord of the Rings fans. Speaking of the budget, they just released a clip from the show. I don't know if have you guys seen this yet.
No.
So let's take a look at this. This is a clip from the nearly $500,000 first season of Lord of the Rings, the series.
Oh.
Money well spent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take out of the public transportation. So I
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that costume. I felt like really accurate to the original writing. That's.
I like the lack of music too.
Yeah, like you don't need a score, man.
You don't need the Bridge of Khazad Dûm. You don't need that score in the background. You just need.
Good times. For those of you playing along at home, that was not a clip from the show. Don't get worried and go, holy shit, it looks awful.
No, that actually was.
Yeah. Oh man, it would be funny if like we a year down the line when we finally see, we're like, holy shit, that stupid clip of the guy in the train looks better than this damn show. Fed says money well spent. Yeah, that guy's expensive, man. That guy is very expensive. They used to show the TV show at 3 a.m. here in Canada. The Nightmare on Elm Street show, the series, because that's what everybody's talking about. Nightmare on Elm Street series. Yeah, that's good shit. They should put that out. You know what I think they should do?
I never watched that. So
you never watched it?
I haven't seen it yet. No. Mm-mm.
I only caught like 1 or 2 episodes live. I got a bootleg down the line to see them all. But
yeah, that's right.
Unearthed Films. Nice. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Unearthed Films is releasing a TV show called The Hilarious House of Frightenstein. Is that Aaron? Because it's Canadian. Is that the right title? The Hilarious House of Frightenstein, and it's like 103 episodes of like a kids show. Vincent Price is in it. I'm gonna grab that shit. And I think more boutique labels need to release shows like that. Yeah. I think that would do well.
I was really happy with this. This Hammer House of Horrors.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
From Imprint. Yeah.
Yeah. I real bad.
Yeah, I got it in the U.S. Actually, I think I got it from Diabolique, maybe.
Okay.
But like,
no.
I was gonna say like this is definitely one of my favorite things from Imprint. So this box set's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. Funny story. I got the DVDs of those back in the day, and I was watching them. I go, these feel familiar. But I've never seen this show. It feels so familiar. And then I was rewatching some of my old Elvira Macabre, her Macabre movie video, whatever the original stuff she used to put out on Big Box, and it's the episodes of Hammer House of Horrors. So they basically take an episode, and she's not showing a movie; she's showing an episode from the Hammer House of Horrors. So I thought that was so weird that because I've never seen these amazing titles. I'm like, I've never heard of this movie before, and then I watched the thing. It's short, and that's what it was. Hammer House of Horrors. She poached those episodes, but I guess nobody before that time knew what that was. So now they do. Vincent Price, man. Billy Van starred in it. He played most of the roles. Yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm sure you're buying that as well, sir. That's fun. It's very different for Unearthed to be putting that out. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, other people will follow suit. Okay, my friends. Wow, we sure chatted a long time. This has been amazing. But it would. I would be a failing for me as a host to not discuss, the thing we've been teasing for almost the entire episode. Let's talk about Nathan. I'm going to turn this over to you. Collecting paring down your collection. Where are you now in your downsizing, or you're coming to grips with collecting? Let's hear about that.
It's up and down, right? You know, like I feel like with many of us, I mean, we all have phases in our life that, you know, there's things that go on, and for the most part, like, you know, it's really mood dependent, right? Or like, I guess, monetarily dependent too, and also space dependent too. So all those factors kind of like play a big role. And I guess with me, it was like really coming down to space for a bit, because I was like getting very full on my shelves, and then I was also realizing that I was just collecting a lot more than watching, or at least like the rate was just really off, and I was like, okay, I need to like slow down. Now I will say with these like recent sales, like we talked about the Warner Archive sale, and a lot of sales that just literally just happened like a month ago, like all at the same time. That didn't help. But also at the same time, I think for me, at that moment, life was really stressful. So I was actually like thankful that it was happening at that time, because I feel like, you know, I'm sure some of us do this, but like buying brings us, you know, some joy. And so like I definitely wanted to do that. And so it's a mixture of both. So like I have been prioritizing a little bit more. I've been luckily been able, and where I live, my library is open, and I'm able to like, you know, go in there and like check out things and whatnot. And I'm also able to donate things there, and I actually like that a lot, and I like that idea. But so, you know, it's things I don't like in my collection that I don't really find that I might use in the future. I do kind of some giveaways too, because I think near the beginning of the year I made like this idea in my head that I was going to do a 1-for-1 trade. So anytime I got something, I would get rid of something. That was a very hefty bargain that I tried to make. And I've since kind of, you know, recanted it a little bit, and have gone down a little bit more on that, because obviously I've purged most of the things I don't really, you know, find that I want to revisit really that often. But for now, I feel comfortable with the amount of collecting I'm doing. I wait for the sales. The sales definitely help me. I'm not buying every week, you know. I know that for a while, I know we were talking about steelbooks, Corey. Like I know that Best Buy, like, you know, puts those out weekly, and it depends on like what the title is. But I used to go there every week and do that. But luckily, I've since kind of like taken some of that back, for me at least. And I'm enjoying the fruits of kind of trying to find that balance. But you know, minimalization it's all personal. At the end of the day, it's all about like how you feel in the comfort in the space that you live in, or you're around. And I think that's a big part of it, because sometimes we just get lost in the collecting, or we get lost in the FOMO, the fear of missing out. So there's a lot of that going on too. But you know, something I've, you know, still learning about is just the idea of, you know, enjoying what I'm doing, and enjoying the things that and these interactions that I get with, you know, you guys and all those stuff. I love it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Corey, before I hear from you, I just wanted to point out that Aaron is typing with one hand.
He's eating.
I hope that's what that means. Aaron, I don't, maybe don't tell us what you're doing with the other one. Corey, what do you think? Are you have you flirted with the idea of minimizing your collection, or are you just somebody who just wants to, well, whatever I get again, I'll figure out where I put it?
I mean, I certainly buy things that, you know, I end up, you know, getting rid of later. But I'm definitely more now, as I get older, I'm more purposeful in what I collect. I do a little more research. I don't do as many blind buys. Like, well, I guess blind buys in the sense that like I've never heard of it. It just looks cool and I grab it. Like I've always done some research. I certainly still buy movies all the time I've never seen. But you know, I've gotten some good recommendations before I make the decisions. As I said earlier in the show, I went through a pretty heavy pairing, I guess around the beginning of the pandemic, or you know, beginning of or middle or beginning of last summer. And I feel right now where I'm at, I'm pretty happy with my collection. There are things that I genuinely love. They have some kind of nostalgic connection, or they're just great films. It's something that I know I'll want to watch again, or I'll find pleasure in sharing with people in my life to expose them to something cool. I don't have a lot of I guess I don't have a lot of tolerance for keeping things that I just am not interested in my collection, because I don't have the luxury of space, one, and two, like I found that my collection is just much more gratifying to look at it and like feel like I really love or enjoy every movie in it. I also, since the pandemic, spent a lot of time. I had a lot of films that were in my collection I'd never seen. So like I spent so much time watching films, like watching films that I purchased a year or 2 years ago I'd never watched, and to justify having them in my collection or not. And that's kind of how the purge started. I was like, oh wow, I have a lot of like dead weight in this collection, like something I bought 2 years ago, 3 years ago that sat on the shelf, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is why I never watched it, because it's garbage. So I feel it's a pretty good spot now, and I don't foresee myself slowing down with being a collector or buying, but I'm much more mindful of it now.
Right. For me, I've been going through my DVDs. I have actual Blockbuster shelves in my garage. When the store was closing, they were selling everything. So I go, I'm taking some of these. So I have actual Blockbuster shelves in my garage, and I go through. I did a series of videos where I'm kind of showing my DVDs, and I'm like, holy shit, I just bought this on Blu-ray. I had no idea that I had it on DVD. I could have watched it before I bought it and knew that I don't want it, but now I have 2 copies. So when it comes to, I don't buy DVDs anymore unless it's something really specific I want. Like recently I got the George Méliès box set from Flickr Alley. It's like 173 of his remaining short films. I want that, but it's only on DVD, so I had to get that. But I don't buy DVDs. That's sort of my way of paring down. And I do need to go through my DVDs and clean shit out that I've either upgraded or I know is just trash that is taking up space. But I'm not necessarily slowing down. I think the channel has definitely juiced me into buying more, much to my wife's chagrin. But that's what I do. And then it says, I only buy stuff that MC approved, and that's MC approved now. No more blind buys. Well, I appreciate that, Nick. Hopefully I won't steer you wrong. Aaron says, I do think that being in a community of collectors often opens me up to titles I might have skipped. Absolutely. I mean, I watch all your videos and Nathan's and oh man, Art with Horror, my buddy Art, Undead Nightmare 24. There's so many guys that I check in with. Whoa, I just Undead Nightmare 24. He's not here, but check out his channel. He's a horror guy, and he was reviewing a copy of Toolbox Murders with an orange Amory case. Where did he get that? So I was like, I messaged him like, dude, where did you find an orange Toolbox Murders? I need that. It's a good movie too. That definitely happens. That definitely happens. Aaron is busy eating tea and chips. Okay, sir, I believe you, because that's what I hope you're doing, and not, as Nathan is thinking right now, furiously masturbating to this video, because that would be weird. That'd be quite weird.
Don't kink shame him.
No, perfectly fine. Just don't tell us what's happening. NNN Horror says, what are you guys watching tonight? I know MC is watching Space Thunder Kids. I'm not yet. It's on the list, but there's a whole bunch of people in front of you, man. So I'll get to it. I will get to it. Nathan, are you watching anything tonight?
So I usually go to bed. Like where I'm at right now, it's about 9:30.
Okay.
I usually go to bed around like 11 or something. So I think I've actually just been starting like watching a lot of the Sterling Twilight Zone. So I just have had like I've had that on my shelf for a while, like just the complete series, and I've seen many episodes all off and on when I was a kid, growing up,
right,
and all over the place, but like I haven't sat down and like watched the entire series. And so that's kind of the next show that I'm watching. So I'm going to watch a few episodes of that probably.
Nice. Corey?
I think I'm going to watch this Leap of Faith documentary, this Exorcist documentary tonight.
Nice.
Pretty excited about that. I did just finish the Them series, the new Amazon version. It is terrible. It is incredible.
Oh, it's good. Okay, good.
It's deeply disturbing and it's really scary, but it's really good. I highly recommend that. To anyone.
Okay.
Spooky
Good
in there.
Been waiting for somebody to tell me to watch it, so now I will.
Stephen King told me to watch it, so and he wasn't lying. He said it's very scary, and if it's very scary to Stephen King, then I'm on board.
Is that all he said? Was a very scary period?
He said this show really scares me, and I don't scare very easily. So I started watching. I was like, oh crap, he's right. It is really scary. It's not scary just for scary's sake. It's like very been disturbing and an unfortunate period in our own history as a country. It's like very interesting how they tie in these historical elements to such pure terror and horror, and it makes you kind of realize, like, I don't want to give too much away, but it's worth watching.
Okay, good to know. I also recommend, if you guys haven't seen it, 30 Coins on HBO.
Oh yeah,
that is amazing. It's from Alex de la Iglesias, who he did Day of the Beast and Perdita Durango. Good shit. 30 Coins is breaking ground when it comes to storytelling in a television format. It is so weird and so much fun. I highly recommend that. We have a question from Indie Phantom. Have you guys done any interesting marathons during this time of extended home viewing? I can't do marathons because I've got kids, so I haven't. I usually, when they go to bed, is when I watch everything. Well, we know Nathan has watched the Fast and the Furious movies. Corey, have you done any marathons?
Yeah, my brother and I we did all of the extended Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, which clocks in at like literally 24 hours. It was brutal. It's taking something that you love and making it miserable. I don't recommend it.
Man.
I would have to agree now with that one.
I recently started binging. I guess that's not really binging, but I've recently started going through the Friday the 13th box set. I haven't dug into that yet, and I've been really pleased with the transfers on those, and they're better than they've ever been. For sure.
Awesome. Then I guess I did do that marathon. Because I reviewed all those back in October. I did marathon them all in order. So yeah, I guess I did do the Friday the 13th ones. Video Store says, I wish we could share in the experience of actually watching these films together and not just talking about buying them. I'm with you. I'm with you, my friend. I wish that could happen.
I'm looking for my weird looking for my weird marathons on Letterboxd.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, this one was a weird day. I'll just say one. I watched A Moment of Innocence from 1996, which is like a Kiarostami film. I watched Scars of Dracula the same day. I watched Dolomite Is My Name.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
and Freaks, the 2018 Freaks, the one with Bruce Dern. That on the same day. Very random array of things.
That's a very interesting. It's a very interesting marathon. Everybody. Aaron's on board. 30 Coins, man, so good. That first episode. If you're not hooked by those, it's like a 90-minute first episode, but it's so weird. And there's things that, like, I never thought I would see this, and it's so creepy. It's so good, so good.
I just saw the Beast for the first time recently, and I was floored. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah. It's really, really good. Okay. I think that's it. Aaron, you want to do a Yakuza marathon? Those are good movies, man. You burn out on those real fast, though. And 2 movies in, they're so hectic.
Well, you run out of fingers. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a lot. That's a lot. Indie Phantom, I plan to watch Nobody today, which is that new Bob Odenkirk movie. Yeah, I'm actually hearing good things. I was kind of on the fence about it because I don't see him as an action guy, but I'm hearing not overly negative things about it. So we shall see. Okay, friends, it's that time to call it a day, and I hate to do that because I'm really enjoying this and having a great time chatting movies with all of you. Corey, you don't have a channel, but I don't know if you want to give out your social media or you just want to say.
Well, I'm a high school educator, so I don't have social media either. You could be a high school educator and have social media, but I choose not to. So thanks for watching, and you can like my comments on your channel. I guess that's about as close as I get to
there you go. That's awesome. I did not know that you were a teacher. What do you? Is there a subject or what do you?
Yeah, I'm a science teacher. I primarily teach physics, chemistry, and biology. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Well, thank you for the hard work. It is a noble profession to be a teacher. I'll say this: I was a terrible student. I hated school. Yeah. But and what's funny is I love teaching. And my daughter's school, they wanted to put on a play, and so I stepped in and I wrote and directed the school play for them. Oh, cool. And it was so much fun, man. But it's exhausting and it's a lot of work. So kudos to you, and I hope you stay safe and enjoy the rest of whatever remains of this school year.
Yeah, we're almost done. I've been telling my students, it's like this has been the longest and shortest year of my life. It's felt like both. And I'm sure for a lot of us, just this pandemic has really messed with our perception of time. And but it's been here. I'm just, I'm grateful that we're back in school and I'm seeing kids again and we're slowly getting back to normal. I can't wait to go to a movie theater again.
Yes, that'll be great. My kids are still online, but my son goes to kindergarten on Tuesday. He starts back for a month. But hey, it's something,
Nothing, right? Yeah.
Right. Nathan, tell us, give us the pitch all about.
Well, before that though, I also teach.
So, oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I teach public speaking at a university and a college here, where I'm at. So, wow. And actually, I've been teaching in person this entire pandemic, still, to like a limited capacity, obviously, and also public speaking with masks. So, very interesting. With all that. But yeah, school's almost over. I got a summer gig, like a class that I'm teaching. So, it continues. But I'm glad that you also mentioned like a movie theaters are opening. The Alamo Drafthouse, which is the most popular one in the entire country, is here where I live. And I'm very happy that they're opening back up in a couple weeks now. But obviously I'm going to be careful still. With all that, because I definitely don't want to just rush into things. But teaching has been a lot, especially for the pandemic. It's not been, Corey knows, so it's been a lot. The interactions are so much different from the past. But anyway,
just that mental and emotional toll that you see kids going through too. It's just. It's heartbreaking. It's tough.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. We have a high school principal in the chat, Indy Phantom. Awesome, man. Well, thank you for everything you do as well. That's tough, man. And especially for like the kids that missed out on graduations and things like that. It's school is your life for and when you're young, that is the focus of everything.
Yeah.
And you honestly don't really appreciate it until it's gone, because I look back and I wasn't a terrible student, but I feel like I probably could have, put a little more effort. Not that I would have been in a different place, but, I understood the teacher's perspective. I always loved my teachers, though. I was always a fan of my teachers. They always liked me, but, I was the class clown who got C's and D's. But I made them laugh, and that was okay. I guess they were okay with it. But Nathan, thank you so much for being being an educator. That's amazing, man. That's
my spiel.
Your spiel.
I'll just do a quick spiel. I have a channel on YouTube. It's the same name as it's posted here, Nathan Jones, and I already did the whole don't look for the Australian wrestler. You can find my channel just by typing in my name and then a few other things, Blu-ray related or whatever, and you can probably find me. I'm also on Twitter. I can't even remember my handle, but I'm sure you can put it down once I give it to you. I post movie related things there as well, but I'm that's where I am, and yeah, it's been a fun ride, and I'm just past 4 years on the channel, so it's been fun.
Wow, that's amazing. And you're doing your new big thing is the ABCs, right?
Yeah, so I kind of stumbled into, because like Corey was saying, like during the pandemic, he kind of like watched a bunch of movies that he's just been sitting on his shelf and stuff, and like that's something I noticed. I'm like, well, like, is there any rhyme or reason to the things that what am I going to watch? And like, it's obviously most of it's mood dependent, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, like, I just happened to watch a movie that started with an A, and then I just accidentally went to a B movie, or not a B movie, but like a movie that started with B, and no. And then from there, I just was like, oh, this is a pattern. This could be a thing. And so then I, just like I found 26 movies, and I have a stack over there, and some of these movies I'm seeing over in the corner of my eye, I've literally had on my shelf for like 3 years now. I have not seen, and so I need to I need to watch it, and see if it belongs in my collection.
Absolutely, that's awesome. I look forward to that, and that's probably something I'll piggyback on that down the line. I think I'll be doing an alphabet series as well. Not anytime soon, because right now,
it's a commitment.
It is. It's a commitment. I mean, it's good because I'm doing daily content for a year, but I'm up July 5th. So after that, I'm not going to do daily anymore because it's too much.
I know half this movie's doing a July thing or a June exploitation, so I'll probably join on that.
Oh, nice. So yeah, the thing that I'm tackling right now, the thing I'm going to be watching tonight is disc 4 of the Andy Milligan box set from Severin. So far so good. There's maybe 2, 3 that I didn't love, but it's again rose-colored glasses kind of thing. So I'm going in hoping for the best, and I'll be bringing that. Well, it's Friday. Sunday is is part 4. And I'll do all discs, and then once that's done, I'm curious. Chat, let me know down below what you think I should do next, because I kind of like breaking those box sets down, special features wise, everything. That's kind of fun for me. It's a lot of work, but I do enjoy that, and I will be. It's okay. YouTube's not gonna whatever. I guess they couldn't. I will be reviewing this on an upcoming Master Chaos Theater. Magdalena, Possessed by the Devil. Of course, I'm covering up her biddies because that's what Code Red, or is it Code Red? I guess no. Dark Forces decided to do. Anyway, that's it. Let's Flesh Pod. That's coming up. I don't think that's disc 4, but I've heard good things. We'll see what happens. That's a wrap. Does it glow in the dark? It does. Let me see. It does, but I don't know if you guys have seen the reports that it's bubbling.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But there is a second step in the works that I will I'll get that. So it's all good. It's all good. I'll actually like that movie. I had that on DVD, and I really enjoyed that movie because that woman has excellent breasts. So I'm going to enjoy that very much. Okay, my friends in the chat, here's what I'm going to do. In the description, give me like 5 minutes, because after the show wraps up and everything, I'm going to put links for Nathan, his Twitter, the YouTube channel. And just keep an eye out for Corey in the comments, and then just like his comment whenever he shows up. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be here, and I hope you will be as well. And Nathan, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much for having me on. This was a blast. I had a really good time.
And hopefully one day maybe I can be on Film Journeys if you
absolutely.
If you make that if you bring that back, I would be honored. I'd be honored. Corey, thank you again, not just for being here, but supporting your old pal. It really, really means the world to me, man. Thank you.
course. Thank you so much for having me, and happy to come on anytime you'd like.
Fantastic. It will happen. It'll happen again. And okay, everybody watching at home, remember this: you are important. You are special. You matter, not just to me, but to the world at large. And I love you. I love you just the way you are. Remember that. If nothing else today, take that away with you. And until we meet again, we remain to be continued.